All right, welcome everyone. Sunday Speedrunner Spotlight. Back at it again. I think we're at episode 22 now. Number grows. All right, today, Niftski's here. Hello, welcome.
What's up, everyone?
What's up? Let us hope internet cooperates today. So far, so good. We'll keep our blesses in the chat. Anyway, Mario 1. We're rocking some Mario 1 merch today. That's good
Yep.
stuff. Yep. So, we know what's up, Mario 1. Let's talk about that.
hmm
That's the first thing you started with speedrunning.
Yeah.
Not too long
Um,
ago either. In the grand scheme of
yeah.
things, anyway.
2019, I believe.
Yep. Pretty late into the year, too, right?
Yeah, that's when I really started to get into it.
Mm-hmm. What, like, got you, like, started fully?
Like fully speedrunning the game.
Yeah, just, like, how'd you find out
Um,
about it and then, like, oh, let me do this?
yeah, so YouTube and then Summoning Salt and Bismuth recommendations. So I had started out like in my early childhood, like playing the game casually. Um, but I never knew like people speedran the game until obviously I saw Bismuth and Summoning Salt videos on it, and I just thought it was super sick. So I ended up just kind of experimenting and trying out with it, and ever since then, basically, I just got hooked, and this has been like my newest hobby, basically.
Yep. Yeah, Summoning Salt drew me in, too, so... Although Bismuth wasn't around yet in the content side of things by the time I joined, so it was cool to see him start and then like become massive. Like his first Mario 1 videos just took off and it was insane.
Yeah,
So, hey, it worked if it's getting recommended to you and I assume like millions of others. So, well, I wonder just how many people those videos have brought in. I have to assume a lot.
yeah.
So, late 2019. Um, what month? I'm trying to remember. It, I guess it's not that important, but I just thought it was pretty late into the year.
Yeah, it definitely was. At least when I started consistently grinding the game, it was pretty late in the year.
Mm. Did you like start off more casually before like really getting into it?
Yeah. At first, it was actually experimenting with like ROM hacking and stuff. Like a lot
Ooh.
of people don't know that, but it might have even been like 2018, like late 2018 or something. I was experimenting with like just casually playing the game, and I love the game's physics as well. So I was messing with like kind of ROM hacking and stuff, and just ROM hacks in general.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was mostly speedrunning, but I did do that at first a little bit as well.
So just like playing them.
Yeah,
Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that, but I guess it makes sense later you ran a lot of them, so it
yeah.
works out. But yeah, games physics are pretty cool. I do like the ROM hacking scene, and it keeps just getting a lot better. So many
Oh yeah.
unique stuff now. The only like unique thing about them is they all would use the unused like Vine thing, the poll. Like, oh, look at this new thing that's in the hack, the unused poll. Let's all use it in all of our hacks.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it makes for some cool things. It's the thing where you can like clip into the wall if it's right next to one because people don't know how it works. No wonder it was unused. Anyway, when did you start like really grinding speedrunning then?
um, Late 2019. That's when I started pretty consistently doing it, and then it was like basically every day during COVID, pretty much
Hmm.
every day.
Yeah, COVID really
Because
helped out with
obviously,
that.
yeah, no time. to do anything else but just stay home and do that. So that's what I did, and it kept me occupied and it helped me get better at the game. So I
Yeah.
guess it worked out.
Yeah, but even pre-COVID, you like kind of took off pretty fast. Like was 502 like your first PB or was that just your first submitted time?
That was my first submitted time.
Okay.
I remember I had like sub 6 and then like a 5-1x or something. I never submitted, and
Hmm.
then the 502 is when I actually cared enough to like submit it and put it on the leaderboards.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense then. And don't be like me. My first submitted PB was a 509 with like 5,000 attempts or something. No, or 500 maybe. Yeah, not 5,000. That'd be way too much, but just get a PB. All
Yeah.
those interested, just play the game. Don't try to like, ooh, let's go for sub 5 immediately. That's a great idea. Nah. No one good does it that way. Anyway,
True.
and then like wasn't your next PB like low 58, which is
Yeah, it
like
was. And
stupid.
I just went for everything I knew would get a sub 5. I didn't even know 2-frame wall jump setup. I just did everything. Like good
Yeah.
judges, like 1-frame wall jump, backwards wall jump,
Hmm.
everything. Like
Yeah,
so
not knowing two frame it makes sense then. Like you just happen to get everything. Like if you're going for sub 5, like you know how to do 458 strats, but it's still funny that that's just how it works out.
yeah.
Yeah, my first like a lot of my before like pre sub 5, I didn't know about two frame setup either, or I thought two frame setup was forward wall jump. So I
Um
would just be doing one frame forward wall jump in like my five flats and being like, oh, went for the easier wall jump though. Little did I know, it's a lot easier than that.
mm,
That made sub 5 so much easier. Learn
yeah.
your setups ahead of time. Like actually do some research before diving in.
Yeah,
That's
see
the moral of the story.
that's just what I didn't do. Like I was just completely disconnected from the community. Like I don't even think I was in any like Discord servers or like anything. So I just winged it, and I'm surprised it even worked out in my favor, especially as little of attempts as I did as well.
Yeah.
Now like thinking back on it.
Did you do a lot of practice back then though?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. That is one thing I did do. I made sure like I did a ton of practice before runs. It's always helped like so much. Even today, like I do way more practice than runs, and I
Hmm.
think it's how I really get a lot of things I get super fast, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely say you practice more than anyone has ever practiced the game, probably. Like I've heard some stories. It seems a little ridiculous the amount of effort put into it. And I mean, it makes sense then because
Yeah,
like from a casual play like person looking in, it's gonna be like, oh, he just gets this time in a day. The game must be free, but there's probably like tens of maybe even hundreds of hours put in before that happened that they don't see.
yeah. It's the unseen side of grinds. Like I make sure like I absolutely have everything like perfected before I get into runs.
Hmm. And I've noticed that because you don't like stream often in between attempt sessions
Yeah,
because you don't stream your
that's the
practice.
yeah, that's the time in between spent practicing and doing other stuff.
Hmm. So we just need to get that clarification out of the way. The game isn't easy. I promise. Just so much ridiculous amounts of time need to be put into it nowadays. So that's how that works out. But anyway, back to like 2019, 2020. You like got a bunch of PBs in a row in like the 57 era, I remember.
Yeah.
You want to know why I remember? It's a great story. I probably
Why?
told you, but
Oh, I think I I think I know.
yeah.
I think I know.
I'll tell it to the people anyway, but I was, in the mod Discord and I was looking at it like none of your times really verified yet, I don't think. So you just in like the runs pending section, it was just like 58, 57, 57, low 57, like in a few days. And I was like, we should maybe look into this. This seems a bit sketch, but it obviously wasn't, so it's fine. But hey,
Yeah.
as moderators, we have to make sure. So but it was fine, especially when he started using a keyboard camera. That really helped out. So
Yeah.
because yeah, I remember the first few didn't have one yet.
I remember my first stream was my very first stream on Twitch. I didn't have like VOD saved because I was new to like everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up getting a 458.009, one frame off 457, because I did 2 frame wall jump with BBG,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't local recording, so it just like it didn't save the VOD. But thankfully, I was recording like the movie file in Nestopia, so I saw the video of it technically, or like the playback inputs or whatever. So I remember. I don't remember if that ever ended up getting verified or not, but I remember I at least saw the video of it. So I think I re-recorded that, and I was like so like annoyed at the time, even though it wasn't a 457, because I thought it
OMG
wasn't going to get
TAS
verified.
playback. How dare you? Oh, you think a .00 in that instance is annoying? I'm not even gonna. Oh, I think that's the internet. There it is. Yeah, 1 second. Hold. I knew this would happen. And we made it 21 minutes. That's not too bad. Hi, YouTube. Um. Ooh, this is a bad one. God, I really need to get this figured out. Uh-oh. Did my router go out completely? Ooh, this is not good. Oh, yeah, it went out completely. Oh, crap. This is the worst case scenario. God damn it. Alright, it's fine. I'll just connect to this. And it'll be fine. It'll... Okay. Please work. Okay. As I said, there it was. Can you hear me again?
Yeah.
It's still being laggy, though. Oh, my internet's so bad. Ugh. Alright, I think we're back live, though. Um,
All right.
I'll do the whole internet command. My internet is dog shit. I'm sorry for the crashes. That is my, in all caps, that's my new command. Because I'm just so aware of it now. It's ridiculous how bad it is. Anyway, um, so where were we? It was the 8.00, and I was gonna say, you think that's bad as a joke, and I'm not even talking about warpless. Uh, I had 5flat.023 and then PB'd and got 5flat.006. I love telling that because I think I'm the only person to ever do that. That's the big brain strategy of maximum anger. But yeah, anyway, I'm sure the 8.00 didn't matter too much because you kind of PB'd quickly after that, so who cares?
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Voice correct.
You're young, it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll never stop, actually.
Everyone points it out every time.
OMG, streamer did voice crack, a totally normal human thing. Let's point it out. Love that. Yeah, Stewie knows what's up. All right, anyway, again, hopefully internet stabilized now. That was a pretty bad crash, but we should be back online and good, and yeah. Disappointing that my internet never seems to work, but it's not a podcast episode without me complaining about it for a solid couple minutes, so we just got to get that out of the way early, I suppose. Anyway, so yeah, we Anyway, we ended up verifying the runs. Like I wasn't like I didn't suspect of cheating, maybe, but it was fine. So, how long did you just do any percent for?
I think the first category I branched out to was minus world ending, which
Mm,
I obviously ended up getting record decently fast in as well. But
I remember
I
because
said,
you took it from me. I'm so mad.
oh
Nah,
yeah,
nah. God, my clip was so
um,
slow though. You see, I got that PB like right after it. That you had lowered it to like lower dot .7 by then though. Oh, was it going out again? Oh no. Okay, we're
yeah,
good. And I was like, dang it, this is the clip I wanted. It's like dot .7. It was good, not my shitty dot .9. Anyway, ranting aside, yep. Minus world ending. I remember
yeah.
actually you like tied me because I was the only. There was like this four-way tie. I remember it was a four-way tie at dot .8. Like Cosmic Roy, me, and Merrick, I think.
Was it 232.8?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
dot 832 or whatever,
eight. Yeah, eight
Yeah.
through two. Yeah.
There was a four-way tie. I broke out of it for a second by adding like full 1-2 clip, and then Wes had 231, and then I think you tied me, and then I was like, okay, I should get record real quick, and so I beat Wes by a frame. I was like, okay, good enough for me. And then you came in, but I just remember that well. I was like, oh shit, I'm tied second. I better quickly get record, and okay, now we're good. And then you kind of ran with it, but there was some good like
Yeah.
231 competition around then. So many people got it.
Yeah. I remember Scrim almost got it before he went on his mission. He had
Oh
like
yeah, that's right.
one extra jump in the wall, or he would have got it. I think it was the same for Cosmic, right? Where he
Yeah,
had
he
one
did an
extra
extra
jump.
jump.
Like two people would have bopped me, and they had one extra jump in the wall, and it like was just enough to not get it.
Was that still when you had dot .80?
Um, for it was either .80 or .733, I think it was.
Because it's I feel like it'd be kind of hard to bop to dot .733. Well, especially with an extra jump, but I mean like
Yeah,
in general because mine didn't have extra jump and it was dot .78. And I don't think it was that slow. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I don't know. I feel like it would have been dot .80 because then yeah, definitely those would have all bopped it.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the history. But yeah, it was a big competition for minus world ending of all things back then. It's funny times, but then just this slew of 231s popped up when West just had the only one for like a long time.
yeah.
Uh, was an interesting time because that category does not get a lot of popularity ever. That was like the most popular it's ever been and probably ever will be.
Minus one ending is so like fun. I feel like a lot more people should run that.
It's got its charm. I'm not a huge well, I've never worked on like the -2 stuff too much, the cheap clip and all that. Um, and the blaze it clip can be a little annoying just because of how like low the wall is, like
Yeah.
the ceiling. And but I do love -1. That clip just looks funny, so that's why I like it. But
Yeah.
once you're at like 231 level and you have to add like -2 stuff, it's like, okay, we're good. Minus world ending will suck from here on out, so let's enjoy it while we have it. But yeah,
Yeah.
um, now there's like fast Excel setups. I don't know. That category is crazy now.
Yeah.
Like, how many frame perfects is -2?
Um, so frame perfect jump for downright, frame perfect B press, frame perfect downright to position yourself, frame perfect right to left to clip in the wall, And then if you have right nothing left, you can save it with a frame perfect right repress in the ground to
Mm.
fully clip in, and then the frame perfect one framer for full FPG.
It
But
sounds
that's all in
easy.
like pretty that's all in pretty short succession, and then the clip inputs are like really weird,
Mm-hmm.
at least at first. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Never understood it. Never understood that trick. I know Merrick's like really good at it though, which
Oh
is
yeah,
interesting.
Merrick does like a different setup, but
Mm-hmm.
they seem to be pretty good at it. So
It's crazy
I
how
hope
good
they
he's
get the
always
next
been
stage
at
ready.
minus world ending, but like no one ever
Yeah.
talks about him. But he's always been like better than because um so I mentioned earlier that there was a four-way tie for second place when it was Cosmic Roy, me, and Merrick. And you know how the normal 232.8 works. Like it's got FPG, the slower 1-2,
Yeah.
-2. But Merrick, I don't think went for any FPGs and then did the Blaze It clip in -3 back then. And it just happened to land on that same frame because it was like
I
slightly
think I
too slow
remember
or
that.
something. It's so weird.
Yeah.
The way he does minus world ending is very interesting, but yeah, if it works for him, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just such an interesting category to look back on, history wise, with stuff like that. Like that's something like that you wouldn't see in any percent really. Just
Yeah.
this such variance in strategies, and then like this massive second plus time save that most people don't go for. I don't know. Interesting category, definitely.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so what else did you do in early 2020? This was the start of COVID era, I believe we're in.
Early 2020, other than any percent and minus world ending, I think I ran Super Mr. Krabs funny ROM
Oh,
hack.
great. Now that
um,
that there's a speed game right there.
yeah, for whatever reason, I was obsessed with that one ROM hack, and it actually, funnily enough, it actually helped me with like any percent because um, there's a game mechanic where sock folder FPG is just like naturally more lenient than an FPG that's like from top step or like a full jump FPG without like the B press.
Hmm.
Um, I forgot why. It's something I remember Kriller explained it to me. It's something with like um your last Mario's last speed before or like his speed before his last jump to the flagpole. If it's like barely running speed or something, then it's like more lenient. It's something really
Hmm.
weird, but basically sock folder FPG is more lenient than like a top step FPG. And
Yeah.
in that ROM hack, I ended up implementing like I think it was -1 FPG at first, um, and then 1 FPG,
Hmm.
and they're both like non-sock folder FPGs. So I was forced to like do like pull inputs faster, and then like they were tighter to execute.
Hmm.
And I remember grinding those pull inputs out, and it actually just helped me in general with FPG. It made me a lot better at it. I remember when I returned to SMB1 again, like after playing that ROM hack, everything just felt like it was a lot easier when I went for like FPG and pull inputs and stuff.
Yeah, I've never heard of
Um,
it being more lenient depending on your speed exiting jump. Huh.
yeah, it's such a weird game mechanic. Like I still don't fully understand it, but
I mean, like 99% of the game mechanics that you have like memorized, I still don't know, so it's wild how like known the game is on such a technical level at this point.
yeah.
I
Um,
just can't even explain it.
so yeah, Super Mr. Krabs. and Minus World US, I think I did. That was like another
Oh yeah.
early category I branched out to, other than 90%.
Forgot about Minus World US. That's another interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it's funny how simple that one is too. Just like normal Minus World, just beat the Minus World. Wow.
Just two tricks and a perfect water exit.
Yeah, that's it. Well, until later on,
Yeah.
where that one frame save came in.
The whirlpool manip shenanigans.
Yeah, that that history is really interesting to me actually because I remember like I think Stuck in a Plate really pushed it with like his 1-2 clip consistency or something. And then Alden got the first like perfect water. And then I thought I did next. So I was like, "Ooh, I got the first one on console. That's cool." Like not the first, but still cool, I guess. And then like 2 years later, they're like, "Actually, you lost a frame." And I was like, "Shit." So I went from getting like the second person to get the perfect one to the like not even the first 10 people to do it. And I was like, well, that sucks. Then this miraculous one frame save comes out, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And so I get the first ever actual perfect run. And then you got it like an hour later or something, or like Lukuki got it 10 minutes later. You got an hour later. It's like okay,
Yeah.
and now it's that full list. But I was like, it's just so funny how that worked out.
Yeah.
That's
Like for
more like
years.
yeah, that's more of a funny story for me, I guess, just because of how I don't know, just how that worked out for me specifically. Like that one frame save is just so funny. Whirlpool manip shenanigans. Like again, I don't understand it at all, but it exists.
Yeah. This game works in miraculous ways. That's for sure.
Yep. Uh, I remember when I thought I knew most things about it, and then you realize you know nothing. I wonder what else we have no idea about. Crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have like two of the same chair. People are pointing out.
Oh yeah. That is
Okay,
my
so.
old gaming chair that
Mm,
the back kind of just ended up giving out. Like if I would just like recline at all, it would like just start reclining without me like pulling the lever down or whatever. And
mm,
then the armrest kind of broke on it due to rage. So
mm. Classic.
yeah. So
Understandable.
yeah, that's
Listen, we've all been there.
we've all been there. Yeah.
I point my camera at the hole in the wall. Um, although that one was a while ago and was for internet issues. I've
Oh man.
um I've slowly gotten over that as I've gotten used to it, but oh man. Yeah, it took me. I used to be like, I still kind of am, but I used to be a really huge rager personally. It took a lot of like mental stuff to overcome, like getting to that point. So I definitely get it, but like I had a lot of broken things at points in my life, so I get
Me
it.
too. I've
But
been better, thankfully.
yeah, like yeah, I've super worked on it, so it doesn't happen much anymore. But what really like sold it for me was not only that hole in the wall, although that was again internet, not like game rage, so at least a little different. But I cracked my AV Famicom by chucking my controller at it.
Oh man.
So I was like, well, I don't want to do that again. So I actually like got a replacement shell, or actually it worked out where I just got a brand new console and had the mod slightly different to have a different like palette switcher on the back, and then was able to give my old console to someone else that wanted it. So I guess it worked out. But yeah,
Yeah.
won't be doing that anymore. But yeah, rage, it's a thing. Uh, try to not do that, everyone. You
Yeah.
don't want to break your shit, but it can be hard sometimes. Oh yeah, good segue. Maintaining focus. I don't know how that's a good segue, but I'll take your word for it. You do seem to like lock in pretty hard on pace usually. I am curious how
Yeah.
that works out.
Um, I don't know. Like in my mind, I feel like I could be better at doing it because, like, especially at pace, like during the live event,
Hmm.
I wasn't fully locked in. At least in my mind, I wasn't. But I don't know. I'm able to like, especially if I know it's like a good run or like something's on the line, I guess you could say. Like
Yeah,
I really just like ultra focus on what I'm doing, and it
super
works out
focused on
usually.
inputs mode, one would say.
Yeah.
Hmm. Good. That's something I struggle with. Like, I feel like if I don't want to lose something good I have going on, like all these thoughts just flood my mind and it's distracting. So,
Yeah, that's something that still happens to me.
mm,
I think I've gotten better at like kind of just going with the flow and not thinking about things like that. But
mm,
if you're focused on that thought, then it can get you unfocused on the game, obviously, and then make you overthink stuff. So
yeah.
it's generally just good to try to drown it out.
The worst is now this doesn't really apply to SP1 because of how like perfection it is, but like games where you could PB by minutes or something, but then you like make a mistake and then you're just thinking about it and you end up screwing up more and more and more and it just becomes this like snowball effect. That's the other one.
Um,
That's
yeah, I
hard to
feel like I see
overcome.
that. I feel like I see that with like SM64 runs and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird to get in the right mindset. Mindsets are hard. That's what I've learned. It took me like 5 years to better understand it. So,
Yeah.
uh, I can't. I can't even believe some of the things I did do with bad mindsets. Because I feel like you have a good like grasp on yours for the most part, at least compared to a lot of people I've seen.
Generally, yeah.
Hmm.
Especially with like being dedicated to something. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think I have a pretty good mindset for that. But I'm still not perfect. I
And no one is.
yeah, still have things to work on, you know. Even outside of speedrunning, like just
Oh
like
well, yeah,
day-to-day life mindset stuff. But yeah.
yeah. Uh, I've definitely been there. So, personally, therapy and meds have helped a lot, but that that depends on what you're struggling with. So for
Yeah.
me, it was like anxiety issues. So all depends, but yeah, I mean, my bad mindsets are I think what caused like my original sub 19 grind in warpless to take like a year. Like there's no reason it should have taken that long, but I don't know, the amount of runs I lost in 8-4 was just ridiculous and it really just ate away at me and I that just does not help. Mindset's
Yeah.
so important in speedrunning and you don't really realize it until it actually plays a like massive or like affects you in a massive way or something like that.
Yeah. That's like another unseen thing like that some people like outside of speedrunning wouldn't really understand, like
Hmm.
just like the grind behind it and the mentality and all that stuff.
Yeah, like so much goes into it and people usually just see the finished product and make assumptions based on that. And
Yeah.
it's just not true to life, unfortunately. How we wish it would have been,
Yeah.
but nah, it's months of pain and suffering to get to a point. And I say that loosely, obviously, but there's a little bit. At
True.
least for me. I don't know. Maybe not for everyone, but anyway. Um, When did you first get any percent record? Was that 2020? Yeah, it was.
That was late 2020, I believe. With
Yeah, because Cosmic, it was the same year Cosmic got it, and Cosmic got it in January. I remember that. It was right after GDQ even
yeah,
when he did it, and then yeah, yours was later that year with the addition of the TAS 8 That was another crazy moment of just figuring that level out. I remember
yeah.
Taven
Shout out to
grinding
Grimmer.
it. Oh yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I just remember the old way Taven did it, like fast excel, fast pipe jump, weird. The old bullet strat was so weird.
Oh man, yeah, just jumping and praying from the ground.
Yeah, left to right, pray. And that was around the time I discovered plant despawn too. It's a shame
Oh
that
yeah,
wasn't useful. It was so close to being useful. I don't think people don't realize how like ludicrous it was that that happened, and then don't understand just how close it was to actually like being useful. I find
yeah.
that really interesting. Do you even know how close it was?
Um, I know like it's just super rare to find plant despawn frame rolls, but
Mm-hmm.
for yeah, like for Tassie 2 for plant despawn, there was only like a handful of frame rolls that would work. And
Mm-hmm.
then there was that other like there was this other weird thing where you could like wait for the demo to play out, and then right when Mario grabs the mushroom, you like press start, and then it like the game, just because the demo plays out and Mario grabs the mushroom, the game like thinks you actually grab the power up, and then it like offsets the frame rolls, so it makes like there's
Hmm.
another door of like frame rolls where you can get more plant despawned. It's something super
What
weird,
the?
but
Okay, that's
it's
news.
it's some stuff that 3 Creepio found, but
Mm.
um people were definitely considering it, at least for the 454 grind. I remember that. Like
I see.
just to have, because there was actually a good frame roll where you could do plant despawn, and then the A4 patterns were actually good.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
but yeah,
I
we
didn't
never
know
ended
any
up
of this
using
actually.
it.
I'm learning. But no, what's crazy about when I found it the first time was that was on 539.
With
So
E6 Excel, right?
with yeah, it worked on like D5 too sometimes. It was weird. But a lot of people don't know is first of all like to get the plant to despawn in that way, like bullets have to be there's a bullet that has to be on screen for a super long amount of time, and then like two invisible bullets have to shoot on the same frame or something, which is like
Yeah.
bullets like appear in a cannon for one frame and then disappear if it doesn't shoot. I don't know. It's so wild how unbelievably rare it is. And then the craziest thing about me finding the uh the 539 plant despawn that random day, but I actually got a fast bullet to shoot, and doing normal BBG setup, I could get R20.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I had a picture like the first time I revealed plant despawn to the world that day was I said I got R20 on 539. I got the plant to despawn. They're like, "Wait, you got the plant to despawn?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I took a picture of like the plant not being there. I'm like, "Oh." Um so that I got R20 with normal BBG, and you know like the BBG strat for TAS 2 saves a frame.
Yeah.
So, if you put that together, I that
Tassie
should get
too.
TAS 2. It doesn't because of like some it's off by like 1 or 2 subpixels or something. I forget what I was told, but it's like I think Blaze it told me it was like too slow by like subpixels, not even by like something normal. It just
Oh
doesn't work.
wow.
It was that close to TAS 2 with plant despawn being possible on 539.
That's crazy.
And I don't think a lot of people know that. And I
Yeah, I
just
didn't
like
know that.
yeah, it was that close.
Wow.
But I mean, the setup would have been terrible anyway. Like the bullet, I still to this day don't know how to get it to shoot consistently. I would just bop random Koopas at the end, and sometimes it would shoot, and you would need that weird like messed up fast excel at the start, like you're fucking it up, but still like kind of getting it. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been useful anyway, looking back, but it's crazy just how close it was. Like hardly anyone knows that, and I just that's like a piece of history that you wouldn't hear, but like it was so close to like being game changing because that was before TAS 82 was like that was before Taven got it in that IL. It was pretty close. It was around that time, but it was still before it. So like that almost like opened 454 to being possible because again, plate 1 was done, but TAS 2 had not been done. So that would have been the deciding factor before Taven got it on that with that weird strat, and then the new strats were developed that made it a lot easier. But I don't know.
Yeah.
SMB1 history is wild. I love that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so your first record had TAS 2 with like the much better setups for it because
Yeah.
that was like no need for fast excel at the start. I mean, it's the same strat that everyone does to this day, right? Like nothing has really changed since then.
Yeah. I did it on a frame roll that I don't think anyone else has gotten low 455 on, but it was one that it was 537 instead
Hmm.
of the traditional 526 that other people use.
Yeah,
Um,
that wasn't found yet, right?
526, I think it was found at the time. I just didn't use it because if you don't do fast excel, then you can get a cheap.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so I did
And you weren't going for fast excel
537.
yet. That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
and I just wanted to finish a run, get record. So I
Hmm.
did a frame roll that it's funny because so 526, if you do fast excel, you don't get cheaped, but 537, if you do fast excel, you do get cheaped, and this is exact like opposite for no excel. So if you do no fast excel 526, you get cheaped. If
Hmm.
537, you don't get cheap. So I picked 537 because I wasn't doing fast excel,
Makes sense
and
to me.
yeah, so
What is it with
that
all
frame
SMB
roll.
runners being compared to Sheldon? I don't get it. You're not the first person to say that. You're not, and it's to like every Mario Run runner that's ever existed. Get better material. Anyway, ranting aside, yeah, yeah, I definitely didn't see that frame roll used ever again. I just remember it being different, but yeah, that makes sense then because like no other record didn't have fast excel after that, so
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Gasser is the
Oh,
only person that is doing that frame roll with his current low 455 attempts because he's
oh,
planning on doing
interesting.
just no fast excel.
Okay, my internet did a little funky, but I heard the sentence, so we're good.
All right.
Um, yeah, hopefully, as long as it doesn't cut completely out again, we'll be fine. If it cuts out completely, I switch to my better like range but less strength connection, I guess. But it shouldn't
Mm,
disconnect, so just maybe some weird audio mishaps here and there, and maybe some lower loss in quality. But anyway, my internet's finicky. I just love to complain about it because it is consistently an issue. I feel like I can't do an episode without complaining about it. It would be weird. So, got to make sure I get that in as much as possible. So yeah, that was 4-3, dot 4-3.
yeah,
Uh what 8-4 speed is that?
it was 8.8 speed, and I lost a frame on axe, so it was
Oh
basically
yeah,
eight
I lost a
seven.
frame in axe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 8-8 is not bad. That's for sure. Without fast excel. Because I
Yeah.
remember like in the Darbian era, he would always get 8-4. He would get 8-4 every time. It was crazy. Like
Oh
dot
yeah.
878's 8-4. He I forget which like low 57 was 8-4, but yeah, you could do the math. I'm not going to, but Yeah. Just oh yeah, and the dot five was 8-4. I'm pretty sure 528's 8-4, right? 6 dot
528.
528. Pretty sure.
Uh, I cannot think right now. Okay, wait. So
Or maybe that's 8.
610 is 82. That would be. Would that be 577?
Oh, maybe. I didn't think it was that good though. Because then dot 52 would then be like 8-6, right? Or dot even better.
52.
I don't know. Maybe now's not the
527 would be 87. I can check right now.
you could. Not that it's that important, but I was just trying to remember because
Audience.
he'd always get 8-4. That was like the thing I remembered.
Okay, yeah. 84 is 577. Uh, yeah, low 457 is 227, and then obviously 828 or 878 for 456.
Yeah, so wait, what'd you say for mid 56 was 8-4?
Mid 56.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 528.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, I
That
was
was
looking at
Darb
mid
that
57. Okay.
okay. No, Darby and yeah, that sorry. Yeah, I did talk about 57, I forgot, but yeah, I knew his mid 56 was 8-4 as well, and it is because it was dot 528.
Yeah.
So yeah, he went from 8-4 to 8-4. And then that was his last one, but yeah, so that was like good 8-4s was 8-4, and then it got just a lot better after that. Fast Excel is being added, but 8-8 no Fast Excel is like really good
Yeah.
for even for that time. Yeah, because everyone was still doing like Fast Excels before that for the 55 eras. In fact, Wes's 455 did Fast Excel, and I still think he got 8-6 or something.
Yeah, 796. Yeah. So,
Yep.
yeah, very, very good 8-4 for me, especially on that pace. I remember with Tassie 2, I had such like a mental block, and the second I broke past it, I got 8-3 and 8-4 and finished the run, which I was already like super stoked to get past 8-2. I remember just at the time, like I didn't even I was already happy enough getting past 8-2. I did not expect to get 8-3 and especially finish 8-4. And
Mm-hmm.
especially like one of that speed, like 8-8 no excel. That was very good. I think it was second pixel turnaround as well. It's like
Mm.
8-2 wall jump. So it was really
With
good.
8-2. Okay.
Yeah, and
Because
then
like a
that was
perfect is like
also
8A like normal strats, right? You're looking at
for
like no Fast Excel, like an 8-3 wall jump. You're looking at like an 8A perfectly.
8B. You could get 8-3 wall jump or minus like 8-4 wall jump setup or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
8-3 wall jump, frame 75 if you play beginning perfectly, get perfect pixel, and then get like running speed in the pipe, and then
Yeah,
perfect
but
water.
that's not 75 is a bit rare, so I went the 76 route, which would be 8A, I guess is what I
Yeah,
mean. So, pretty close to like perfect for those strats, essentially.
yeah,
Just
frames
two
off.
two frames and then X, but you know, it
Yeah,
happens.
and
Um,
then that was before we were doing the wall jump downright setups as well. So
yeah, to get the extra frame save in wall jump room.
yeah, and then to make like 8-3 wall jump more consistent. So
Yeah.
and I remember I used to get such horrible wall jumps in my PBs. Like at basically every PB I got, I think before that, were they were all like really bad wall jumps because I would like do anything to just at least hit pixel, and I would
Mm-hmm.
end up just over wiggling, and then the wall jump would be bad. But like as
Yeah.
long as I didn't wiggle too fast and then like miss wall jump, that's what like mattered the most to me. So I remember I got like really bad wall jumps in my PBs, but except for that one, like 8-2, pretty good for me.
Mm-hmm. And you'd probably just always save it with a fast excel anyway. It would like more than even
Yeah,
out, so at least slightly more. But yeah, I mean the wiggles. I still struggle with the wiggle, just because like it can vary so much. Like
yeah,
usually, if you hit the wall jump, you're probably gonna get a good one, but you can just not get a pixel because subpixels are fun. Love those things. So yeah,
true.
it's nice to have that set up. Although I find like the quick turnaround you need to do if done correctly a little difficult because you do have to like quickly turn around to get the right like setup for it.
Yeah,
So that's the only issue with that, but it does make it a lot more consistent, which is nice because even if you don't get like the extra frame save, it like will give you a pixel to jump off of that isn't slow. So
true. Yeah,
unless you screw it up and then you get like you lose 5 frames and it's sad, but just don't screw it up. Easy.
true.
Just don't fuck up, forehead. Anyway. Um so yeah, the low 55 was like later 2020 and then 2021 was the big year, right?
Yeah. So,
How quickly did Miniland get low? I forget.
I think it was actually like the first days of January. I think it was like January 2nd when he got 314.
Okay, so
I think
super
I
quickly.
remember it was like at the very start of January. So he got 455.314. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Dot two
I
later.
think, yeah, was it a month or something later? I don't remember. But obviously, fastest 8-4 ever done in a run, two fast excels,
Mm-hmm.
or fastest 8-4 ever done in a record at least. Two fast
Yeah.
excels. Crazy
Up
8-4.
to
And
that
then
point
that,
at least.
yeah, the 230 is what sparked the 454 grind for everyone
Mm-hmm.
because I think we all made like a pact to like delay the 454 grind until like one more record or something or something like that, and then we were all gonna grind out 454. So the 230 is what did it, and then we were like, okay, we're done with lower 455s. We got to get that final second barrier. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when, obviously, me, Miniland, Lakuki, Tree, might be forgetting someone, but those are the main people, and that's when the 454 grind popped off.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm trying to like connect it to where my PBs were. It's like my best frame of reference, I guess. The thing I remember is when I was first going for 455, the record was still Cosmics.6. And so I remember I got like a low 56, a .06, because I like jumped a frame late for Kriller 8-3 setup. So I just like played a faster 8-4. Um, and then I didn't get 455 until record was 454.
Oh yeah,
It just God, my grinds take way too long. My mindsets must have been just fucked back then. Like it's crazy to think about looking back, but because like in actuality, like 454, I mean, took a decent amount of time. It wasn't like an immediate thing. Like
yeah, at least
took
a
some
few
time.
months.
Yeah, like a grind was made out of that. It was an interesting time. It was like one of the biggest like Mario 1 like pop-offs in recent memory.
Yeah,
Everyone was like, "Ooh, 54, here we go." Fun times. And obviously you kind of did it first, so that's why
yeah,
you're so famous. Because that's all people care about is 454 second or any percent second barriers, but essentially, especially the last one, that helps in the popularity standpoint a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, God, when was that? How deep into 2021 was that?
I remember the exact day. It's
Mm,
so important
yeah,
for me, at least. It was April 7th, 2021. That
yeah.
is when I
Okay, April.
got
That's
the
right.
first 454.
I can't believe it's been over 2 years. Jesus, man.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about.
God. But yeah, finally added that plate one. Crazy how long ago plate one was first done. Stuck in a plate's insane.
Yeah,
Was that 2018? It's gotta be. Trying to remember. It was either
yeah,
that or like early 2019, but
that
I
was
just
like
remember everyone going for it after he did it, and it was like, oh my god. So it not you were one of the earlier people to hit plate one, I thought though. So maybe it wasn't.
yeah. I think I got my first plate one late 2019 as well.
Okay, I must have the timeline wrong. Stuck plate must have done it in like mid 2019 or something. Because yeah,
It might have been before I started running the game or right as I did it. But yeah.
you were getting tricks before like actually doing runs.
Yeah, I also it was oh yeah, that's another thing. Early on that I branched out from any percent was A4AL.
Mm,
A4AL grind. I started doing that. And then yeah, I was doing some Summa Best grind kinda.
mm,
Like I know I was the second person after Taven to get Task 8
mm-hmm.
still with the fast excel setup, but it wasn't with the winging on the BBG stuff that he did.
Oh
So
yeah, not
it
that.
was a little less crazy, but still pretty proud of that.
Yeah,
Um,
I liked whatever strat I did. I think I did fast excel, but it was the one where you just run off the staircase and you bop the two bullets and land on it. You know that
mm,
setup?
I don't think so.
So two bullets shoot. So you know it's the one you get BBG off of and the one on top of it, and you can just run off the
Oh,
staircase,
that
bounce
no,
on the
never
yeah,
mind.
yeah
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
That's the one I
That
did.
one,
Love that one.
yeah, that one's low key like still easier than the single bullet that we do in runs. It's just that some of the frame rules are like so like have
Yeah,
complications like 8-4 patterns or
yeah.
the blunt window not being good enough or whatever it is, but
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, it's just a frame perfect right press. Like it's not a frame perfect 3 frame jump
Yeah.
like we do with single bullet. But yeah.
Yep. I wish that setup. I wish you could do that. Like everything was the same except you just did that at the end. Like no fast excel start, same pipe jump. Every Tassie 2 would be free.
Yeah, it'd be
Someone needs
so
to
easy.
find that perfect setup for it. Because God, 454 would like be a lot easier, especially then.
Yeah. One thing that's actually crazy is you know how I was talking about the like start press on the demo, like right
Mm-hmm.
when Mario grabs the mushroom and it offsets the frame rolls.
Yeah.
Well, 3 Creepio ended up finding a frame roll that gets plant despawn. You have to go really fast on the plant jump, but
Mm-hmm.
since the plant's not there, you have like extra leniency. Like you can go faster than normal. You can
Yeah.
actually get a shot that's 2 frames faster than normal, and you literally just do normal BBG and you get remainder one task ATO.
Hell yeah.
It's it's literally the easiest thing ever.
Love
Like
that.
if
No
that was
fast excel
in
too.
yeah, no fast
Oh
excel, plant
God.
despawn, you just go fast on the plant jump, and you get a shot too fast, 2 frames faster than normal, and you just do normal BBG.
Yeah,
Like it is if
that would
that
be a
was
lot
in the
better.
route, if that was in the route, people would be like way more consistent than Task 2. It would be crazy.
It's a shame these don't work out. That would be great.
Yeah,
God, can't imagine how easy that is. Wow.
yeah.
You just line up your like pixel visual key window and there it is. Just free task 2 with a single frame perfect. Or I guess technically two, but the initial
Then
jump.
also,
But yeah.
yeah,
Still a lot
two
easier
frame
than
perfect.
the current strats. So.
two frame perfects eliminated on the blunt jump as well because you have to
Mm-hmm.
do a frame perfect A release and then frame perfect jump off the lip of the pipe normally. But since
Yeah.
the plant's not there, you just jump on the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
No care in the world.
It's where are these magical routes we could have? God
True.
damn. I'm like sad that these things don't work out now. I didn't realize just how like much different strats there were with I mean I didn't even know about the frame rule offset power up demo thing until today. So that was new
Yeah.
information
I mean, we have like a lot of things that line up in our favor, but there's a lot of other things like that, like
that just
that
don't.
just that could but don't, and it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, God. It'd be cool if that like power up thing like made warpless routing easier too somehow.
It probably does. I have not looked into it, but
Mm,
I
there we
know
go.
since I'm currently grinding 1854, it's literally a 24-second title screen delay already.
That's no.
Just to, for all for all the castle levels to line up, and then every level has to line up. It's so much worse for Warpless because
Mm-hmm.
so many more levels, so much more RNG to deal with.
Now that category, it sucks how many things don't line up because it'd be so easy to add strats that you just can't because of pattern reasons.
Yeah,
Especially
like
6-3. Like that's the big one.
exactly. Like yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like my 1855, I did it without 6-3, and I would have done it with 6-3 because it's an easy frame roll save.
It's
Like
not
you
bad.
just yeah,
It is definitely not bad. I mean, the worst thing you're gonna do is bonk that platform, but
yeah,
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty easy.
true.
Oh man, Warpless is a fun story. Yeah, we can cut back to 20% later. We made it to 54. Let's talk about Warpless because that's the better category.
Yeah.
When did you start running that?
Um I remember Jeremy taught me Warpless. So
Hmm.
he's the one that taught me everything about Warpless. Shouts to Jeremy MKW. I think my first run of it, at least my first submitted run, was at like a 1948 or something, and then that was a small fire, and I think I got it like mid 2020 or something like that. I don't know. Then I got a 1921, and then that stood for a little bit. Those are like the two. Those are like my first two main PBs or like major PBs of Warpless, and then
Mm-hmm.
after that, I think that's when I really started grinding it out more, like maybe later 2020 or 2021. It's when I really started to get more into Warpless. Because at first it was like I was bad at Warpless. I thought, oh, there's so much that could go wrong in Warpless, and because I was just not that good at it. And then after really learning the category, I was like this is a fun category. Like so I
Based.
started grinding it out more.
Mm-hmm. So based. But yeah. I mean, Warpless was my category, so I like to talk about it.
Yeah.
God. It's funny how that worked out too. Like my sub 19 grind lasted so long, like over a year, or no, 11 months, I think was it. Or that was like record grind. I got sub 19 like slightly earlier, but it took a lot longer than it should have. And then of
Yep.
course my legendary 59.00 later .02, but at the time, uh fun times.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did make for that legendary moment where so you got the first your first warpless record was mid 58, 1858,
Yeah.
and with
The very next day,
yeah, you were the
1857.
first to add bullet bill glitch to warpless, and then Very next day, finally, my redemption arc kicks in. That this is so fucking stupid how that worked out. Just first try 3-3, first time ever in a run, and then just first try the rest of the run. Just 57, no BBG. That's the base strategy.
Yeah.
God. It's just, again, like Mario 1 history is so wild sometimes. That's another thing that's just ridiculous how that worked out. I need to make some videos on these stories or something. I find them quite interesting. But
Yeah.
anyway, that stood for a while until you like made the big warpless push for the first time. Really went ham into it.
Yeah. That was like it was mostly after my 1858. I
Hmm.
think that's when I really started getting into the category a lot more. And then obviously I'm
Because
still playing it to this day because I'm
yeah,
currently grinding 1854. But yeah.
yeah, that 3-3 setup was goaded. Um, the other little known fact about me is I was the first to get 3-3 at PG full level. I found it. I remember it because Bismuth
Oh.
made the warpless video about the sub 19, and he said, "Here are some potential time saves. 3-3 could save 2 frame rules, but currently there's no known setup to do it." And I was like, "Well, let me find one." And then I found one in a day, and then hit it. And I was like, "All right, cool." But the setup was not very good. It was a frame perfect B press at the start of the level. You look to see what your subpixel value is, and you see if it's good, and then two, frame perfect jumps off the platforms. So
Yeah.
Rudy's setup was a lot better. It was just 1 frame perfect jump in the down right, and then you could tell by Mario's animation falling off the platform if the setup was good. And there's a 2 frame window because there's a D50 setup if you jump a frame late. So that setup's goated, but I pioneered the 3-3. So it was nice to like add it into Warpless and be the first to like get a world record with it in the most ridiculous way I could have ever imagined it happening. So
Yeah.
funny stories. Warpless is a fun thing to talk about, as I keep saying. The amount of ridiculous things you just wouldn't hear that are secretly in the history.
Yeah.
So
Warpless is
good.
epic.
Warpless is epic. Very true. Very based. But so yeah. Um. So you beat my record with a mid 57 but you did BBG no 3-3, and then had
Yeah.
faster 8-4, and then added, or you didn't even do. I don't. Your routing back then was kind of weird to me. That's what I remember. Like, 56 era was just weird to me because I don't think your 56 had 3-3, right? Or
56.
trying to remember
I don't think it did. I know my
because you were like
55
doing
had.
2-1, which was weird to me.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm currently still doing for 1854. It's a double frame roll. I'm knocking it out of the way before 3-3, but I still think
Which is
3-3
funny
is
because I
easier.
did 3-3 to knock out not doing 8-2 double frame rule save.
Yeah.
Just gotta get it as early as possible, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know how 2-1 works. I've never looked into it, but so I'm a 3-3 stan, I guess. I'll do that. But I mean, 56 should be easy for me. All I do is add BBG and then not suck at 8-4. So I'd like to do that soon, but yeah, I don't know much about 2-1. Here, how does it work? You can explain it.
Okay, so it's a little bit complicated. You pause your subspeed for a frame, which instead of doing a 1 frame right release, what I do is I do a frame perfect jump off the ground while holding down right, and then it pauses it. That's like the equivalent of a 1 frame right release. And
Okay.
then you you do a 1 frame jump onto a block and then you down right off a pipe. Um but since my keyboard doesn't give like 100% 1 framers and gives 2 framers sometimes, I just end up doing a frame perfect full jump onto the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that. You snipe a plant out of the way, you full jump onto the pipe, and then down right off of it. And then there's like a 4-frame window to flick against the spring, like do a 1 or 2 frame jump against the spring at the end, and
Mm.
like bonk it, and they all give D70. And all
Huh.
you need to do from there is just do a top step FPG off the pillar, and then as long as you don't do slow PG, you get either remainder 0 or remainder 1 based on
Huh.
subspeed frame or whatever. But yeah,
I didn't realize there was
you
such a big window for the spring bonk.
yeah, it's a huge window. That's the setup that Kriller found that I currently do.
Mm.
But I found an addition to it like just a few days ago, actually. If
Mm.
you do the down right and then the frame perfect jump on the ground, but you do it in a spot where you have high subspeed. If you jump second frame off the ground, then it doesn't actually lose subpixels. It'll just like manipulate your subspeed. And then if you jump second frame off the ground, like you jump a frame late, all you need to do for the setup is just jump an extra frame later, and you're still set up for D70 with the exact same everything.
Hmm.
So, 2-1 FPG, and then also if you jump a frame late, you still get D50. So the setup is
Oh.
pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound. It sounds like complicated to set up, but like the execution of the FPG doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah, and I feel like there definitely needs to be like an updated, because I know Kriller had a video where he found the setup and then he showcased it, but
Hmm.
I feel like there needs to be a video made. I might make one about the newer setup where, because um I don't think people knew that a frame late, if you do the full jump instead of the 1 frame flick, gives D50, and I don't think people knew that. I mean, I know people didn't know that like you could downright on a high subspeed frame and then still be set up.
Hmm.
So that just made like those two things made it a lot easier. So I think that definitely deserves like a video or some kind of like breakdown on it. But yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I definitely like to lower my sum of best real quick, so that doesn't sound too bad. Plus, I learned the 1.4 Ultra nice and quickly, so I'm
Yeah.
down to learn more time saves. God, I wish I could. I wish there's a way. Like, when I go for 55, I'd like to do 6.3, but it really just doesn't sound like it works out in any good way. And I don't know. Again, the routing's so
Yeah.
weird on that. Just something to think
Yeah.
about.
That's why I just looked into new routes, because I knew for 18 over my 1855, I didn't want to just add more FPGs, because I knew, there's
Mm-hmm.
more faster Bowser kills and there's 6-3 rule and stuff like that. So
God,
I
but
just
delaying for
brute force.
25 seconds. Ugh,
Yeah,
cringe.
it's even more like punishing, because it's like you miss 1-1 or you miss something like or you just feel something in a dumb way, and then it's like it it, it feels like being put like in a corner, like in timeout for like 30 seconds. Like, you failed, go sit in that corner for 30 seconds. Like that's what it feels like with the title screen delay.
Ugh.
It's just it feels so much more punishing failing, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting more used to it.
Yeah. I feel like that's the only thing that would turn me off from pursuing it further. Just way too long of a delay. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's weird. It just sucks how like good the route has been for so long, and then if you get too good, it's like, yeah, it suddenly doesn't work out. Sucks for you. Find a different way.
Yeah.
Ugh. But Warpless is still good, so at least there's that.
True.
I don't have to worry about anything too weird yet. Literally just do bullet bill glitch. It's crazy that my PB is as good as it is without it still. Just Literally, my run with BBG is a 56, so I just need to do that, and we're good.
Yeah.
Then I can worry about all the bullshit that comes with routing later. But yeah, so God, I lost track of the original, like what we were talking about with warpless. What were we at? We were talking about 1856 era, right? Because of 2-1, like the original.
Yeah.
So I guess going from there, when 56 was like late 2021, right? Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Mm, sounds about right. Yeah.
Because I think I got 57 in like earlier 2021 or something. Yeah, I don't remember exact months, but I think the year's right, so close enough.
Yeah, I returned the warp list right after any percent record, and I don't remember if it was my 455.430 or my 454.948. But after one of those, like a week later, I returned to warpless and then got record in that. So it was either like late 2020 or early-ish 2021.
I think what you're talking about is the 58.
Yeah, that was 58,
Okay.
and then
So you got it
yeah,
for one whole day. Sorry about that, but we do what we got to
all
do.
good. Yeah,
And then so you just returned because you could later. It wasn't much of a huge reason to, I guess, but just wanted to
yeah.
improve, and then that's when like 56, because so that was late 2021. And then I noticed like a trend, at least in workplace, you like lower it by your PB by a second every year, because 55 was the next year, and now 54 is this year.
Yeah,
53 next year.
maybe. Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
I want to just do whatever I'm doing already with 1854, and then just add like two FPGs,
Ugh.
which would be 3 3 and 1 2 FPG for the
Yeah, you
second.
do need to. We need 3-3 back in at least. Like,
Yeah,
can't believe 54 won't have it. My 54 will have it. I'll make sure, but we'll see
let's
from
go.
there. At least, personally, I think I might stop at 54 though. I have a goal. Like I've always had a goal in mind to. If you remember when Cosmic got sub 19, he made like a sum of best splice video that was like
Yeah,
1854.99. My goal is to beat that RTA, and that was like gonna be my final goal for the category. So I.
I was watching that back like 2 days ago. Like this is crazy. Like I'm about to like I'm grinding for this, and if I get it, then it'll beat this. Like, and that was only like 2 or 3 years ago when he made that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's at least my thought process. I don't know what your like end goal is. I don't even know if you have end goals for anything.
I
At
mean,
least not at this
right
point.
now, right now, after 1853,
Mm,
it's like, I mean, I could do 1852, but it's just adding in FPGs at that point everywhere. Like,
yeah, like why?
so yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, depending on what you have to do for 53, I might consider it. But yeah, that's definitely my end goal is either 54 or 53 if it sounds okay, but probably not. So yeah, I think once you're adding in only FPGs, it's just why. Like, don't make
yeah,
it a. It's already essentially a 19-minute any percent. Don't make it worse. Don't make it harder than any percent in the FPG department, please.
true.
But ugh. But what about other categories? Do you have like if you get this time you're done, like actually?
Every time I think I'm done with a category, I end up just improving, and then or something else is found that makes something easier, and then
Hmm.
I just end up returning. So I don't know. I mean, I think I could definitely go beyond 1853, but like at that point, it's like,
Not much of a reason to.
yeah,
Hmm.
like maybe I'll take like a year break and then want to do it again.
Yeah, I
Like
guess it's
that's
impossible to know at this point in time.
yeah,
So,
it's
um,
scary thinking about it in a way as well.
yeah, you never really want to be done, almost.
Yeah, true.
Although, when you've done it long enough, you kind of want to just try other things, at least in my experience, which is why I've kind of fallen off plus ratio. But um, I don't know. It's definitely something to like come back to. Like it's never really dead as long as you just, even if it takes multiple years, you can just come back to it at some point and be like, why not? Let's do it
Yeah.
again. So, yeah, I guess it is just never really dead. I have like end goals in my head though, but I guess, yeah, subject to change. But I like to at least think there's an end goal so I don't feel like I'll be doing it for the rest of my life. I guess is my thought process. So, although I'm someone that runs like a lot of games, especially now, where you mainly just do like SMB1 engine
Yeah.
and Red Bull, I guess, but that's like the only two. So, different grind sets, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting to think about at least. It's definitely something that's in my mind every now and again. Like, when should I just stop torturing myself? Let's see. But maybe the torture is internal. Don't know until it
Yeah.
gets there. So anyway, I guess we can go back to any percent then. Um, as what 2021, and then that stood for like a long time. The original 54,
Yeah.
and then what Miniland beat it.
Yeah.
Win?
Miniland.
God, I feel like it was a long time. Pretty sure,
Yeah.
at least in the grand scheme of things. Like,
I think it was probably like later 2021 or something. Miniland got
was it still
454. That
2021? I thought
it
it was
might have.
like well into 22 at that point, but maybe my brain isn't thinking about it
Yeah.
right.
I suck with timelines,
I
but
have a whole like spreadsheet of the world record progression. I should just look at my spreadsheet, but oh well. Um Maybe not during the podcast. Yeah. I forgot like the dot 8 like stood a little while too. So maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
yeah, that stood for at least half a year, and then that's when I got .7, improved it, and then that stood for like
Today. That's
yeah,
where the record stands
it's been like
today.
11
Roll
months now.
credits. Yeah.
It's almost been a year.
Has it real? Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess it's hard to improve that without like doing Lightning 4-2, and that trick sucks a lot, so makes sense.
yeah,
That 8-4 is ridiculous, especially with like the screw up at the start.
yeah.
Having to do like second room fast excel is weird.
I'm still surprised I even got a .7 out of that because
Hmm.
I was completely under the impression that it was just a lower .8 after the run finished. But
Yeah.
yeah, very jank 8-4 for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. I do think, yeah, the dot 8 stood at least a while because I remember I like came back to 90% and got low and I was like, "Oh shit, I could like go for record now." And then when dot 7 happened, I was like, "Okay, maybe not." Oh well. I've had every other record. It's fine. Let's see. How many records did I have that you specifically took from me? Let's see. No. I think it's just Warpless minus World and Warpless All Stars.
For main
Yeah.
categories, yeah.
Let's not even touch category extensions because there's like 30, but yeah. But I remember I used to be pretty good at the game. I'd like to think I'm still okay, but we'll see how that goes. But I don't know. People don't really care how good you are unless you're good at any percent, which is the big sag.
Yeah.
Like you understand. Like all the other categories are just better,
I-
or at least
I've
most of
seen
them. Like Warpless is just better. Deal with it. Deal with it, people. That's the based take. Any percent
it.
sucks. But I guess minus world is at least unique. The all stars categories are unique. It's hard to say if they're. I wouldn't call them better. I guess they're just cool, but no one cares.
Yeah.
I'm glad Glitchless finally got main category, although I wish it got main category status while I still had record because I had it for like 4 years. Sag. I waited so long. Oh well. At least it's finally there.
Yeah.
With my amazing 502 without 4-2 lightning frame rule. Ah, I love that run. How is like the glitchless lightning 4-2 even that hard anymore?
There's been stuff to make it easier, but it's still pretty ridiculous. Like,
It is still hard. Okay.
there was forgot who found it, but I know Sam 1703 was looking into like ways to make it easier, and I don't know if he was the one who found it, but if you jump a frame later off the elevator to hit the vine block, like a frame later than normal, and then you do a frame perfect left press, like the frame before bonking the corner, um, you actually land a frame sooner due to like Y positioning weird shenanigans.
Hmm.
So that's one thing that made it easier. Extra frame save setup in Warp Zone that I found made it
Oh
easier.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
actually in my run to actually save the frame roll.
yeah. You
So,
needed that.
'cause- and then I found some other really wacky thing to where um the vine would like move perfectly, like each frame. Like okay, so I found some kind of visual cue, and based on where the vine was, you could tell what you got in the warp zone just on original ROM. And you could like look at the vine compared to like the HUD at the top. And then if the leaf aligned with like a certain part of the HUD, you could tell like what you are in the warp zone,
Hmm.
which was really whack. But I found that, and then I was able to actually just see what I was in the warp zone literally mid run using that, which was pretty crazy
Mm-hmm.
because it like moved. Like I don't think it moves every frame, but for the frames that matter, like seeing if you're frame perfectly on pace in a warp zone, or like if you need extra frame save, warp zone, etc. I think it like moves perfectly aligned with those frames, the frame before transition. So if
Mm-hmm.
you just see what frame it is, like compared with the HUD, then you can see like what you are in a warp zone, like right before you get in the warp zone. It is some crazy stuff I found, but
Yeah. It worked out, but
yeah.
I'm never. I don't think I'm ever going to play glitchless again, just because I'm so proud of that 8-4 I did without the lightning 4-2. I think that
Fair
run's
enough.
like crazy in its own way. I kind of
Yeah,
wish it got a little more attention just because of how ridiculous the 8-4 is.
definitely.
Like you're aware how crazy it was.
I mean, yeah, wasn't it tied world record A4L at
Yeah,
the
it,
time?
it was perfect first room fast excel. It was perfect second room fast excel with the 2-frame jump to get F7. to get the extra frame save when you do the frame perfect corner jump, frame perfect like get
Yeah.
higher jump thing into pipe, and then frame perfect fast excel third room with the frame perfect jump and mid air a release to like skip over the coin toss frame or whatever that is. Perfect water
Yeah.
and then perfect last room fast excel.
And that was like first run to last stream, right? As well.
Yes.
And then you clutched it.
Yeah. It's hard to tell for sure because I know I had a .01 2 frame slow um with last room. I knew it was slow though from like a cheat pattern. I forget, but it's hard to tell with that category. Like I struggle like if I get like, 1 frame slow from perfect fast excel, it's hard to tell. Like, I don't know. I'll just see what Bowser does. Or
Yeah.
no, the craziest thing I do remember from that grind is 503.00 is an impossible Bowser.
So
So
there
I
was there
knew
was no 1 frame off
so I
at least.
knew so I knew when I got .01 that I got .01 because I didn't die. I thought I was gonna die to Bowser and I'm like, oh, I survived. Oh, okay, I got .01. Okay, so yeah. And it's crazy also how the frame works out because isn't it .00 like .000 or .001 or something?
Yeah, it's like 001 or
Yeah,
something.
zero
Yeah.
zero one. Yeah. So yeah, I never had .001. I went from .01 to .9 because it's first frame or last frame 502 is dot or 502.984, which is just weird to think about with
Yeah.
how the decimals line up, but yeah. Uh
Basically just
Glitchless.
8-4L in a run.
Yeah, Warpless and Glitchless were like my categories for a long time. Well, Warpless not a long time, but Glitchless, I dominated that for like 4 years or something.
Yeah.
That was fun. That I can't believe like my first record in Glitchless was a 503 like .65 or something. And every record I had from then until my 502 all entered 8-4 or tied to the frame. All of that was 8-4 frame saves, which is
Man,
just wild. That's another progression that no one talks about that I think is super interesting. God, Mario 1 is cool,
true.
but people only care about any percent. That's sad. This is my gripe, and all Mario 1 runners can agree with me, I'm sure. I don't think my opinion's like unbased. Like,
It's based.
yeah, I think it's pretty based, so we all understand. It's a shame the public doesn't. We're here to like spit some facts and change the public perception. That's what we're doing
True.
here. Like, doesn't all this sound interesting? Watch the other categories, learn about the history. It's cool, I swear. Anyway, maybe not the All Stars ones. Yeah, I mean, there are some cool stuff there, though. I mean, Warpless All Stars is another category I dominated for a while, but I don't think that was very interesting. It's just not a category anyone's really cared about. Although I was the first to like implement routing. Actually, it's crazy how like I'm sure you figured out routing on your own when you finally gave it a real
Yeah.
attempt. So, you figured that out, but the way I figured it out um so like I Cosmic had like a 1955. I got 1953 with no routing, and I was like, I want to get a 4x. This is how I figured out routing. I went to like a SNES emulator, just loaded save states with like good pace until I made it to 5-4. Got lucky and found like a good 5-4, and just that was my entire notes. Like, oh, this 5-4 is good because, or like, and then 6-4 would line up later. It just happened to work out that way because you never have to like worry about potaboos. They're always so high that like
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about like under. It's always under, just always under. So that was my route. I found a 5-4, 6-4 happened to work. I delayed to line it up, and that was my entire notes. And it worked out until 1947. So, and I could have gotten 1946. My 47 had two mistakes. So, I'm definitely
Yeah.
not done with that category, but I don't know. I just never was really motivated to keep pushing it after that. So, but
Routing in All Stars is it's
it's a
really
pain.
weird because you don't have Pelson
No.
to like tell you your frame rules. I had to do a bunch of like janky things. Like I literally for my routing would start on the like title screen on a specific frame
Mm,
and then just like note the frame before Mario moves in every level and then like note down that frame for my frame rolls. And then there was obviously like a 21 frame difference between the frames because
mm-hmm.
frame rolls.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was so weird. Like it's a lot weirder routing all stars for sure.
It's also weird because like the way that game works when you gain control of Mario like isn't like in NES it's like frame rule dependent because when it loads like it's loading on a frame rule but it like doesn't do that for All
Yeah,
Stars. So you need to like start at a certain time and then have like not just like a good enough 1-1. It needs to be like a really good 1-1 to like take advantage of the full time save that can. It's weird. All Stars is weird,
yeah,
but it is interesting. Just also like complicated in its own unique way that turns a lot of people off from it. I think, and that's understandable.
yeah.
But it was fun to grind Warpless down because no one else was. So I'm glad it got some more competition here finally.
Yeah,
So
more people should run that category. Just like
well,
any other category that isn't any percent.
I mean, yes, that's based, but I don't know. All Stars is just jank enough where I understand not wanting to.
Yeah.
I guess Warpless not as bad. Any percent is like super weird, but yeah, I guess Warpless is fine. I do remember though, like my first couple of PBs back when I played on the emulator and all that. Like when I was trying Warpless All Stars, I thought it sucked. Like it was just not fun. I thought it was bullshit. I got over it eventually, but yeah, my first couple like run descriptions are like All Stars sucks because I really hated it. But
Yeah.
you learn to deal with it, but it is jank. It is very very jank. But it exists, so as a category that exists, we must run it.
True.
And yeah, that's like all of the main categories, which you currently hold the record in all of them.
Yep.
At least the last one needed was to beat me, so I hung on there for a while before anyone else. So I'll take that as a W for me. But let's talk about category extensions. There's sure are a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a favorite?
Favorite. Let's see. First thing that comes to mind is 84L, so probably
Mm,
that.
really? I hate that. Fast Excels just hurt my thumbs.
It's yeah, A4L's gone a long way, and that was definitely like in a way I do like because obviously it's maxed out now. Like I
Mm-hmm.
miss grinding it in a way because it was actually it, it was pretty fun like in a way. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was it was pretty torture, but it was also fun in the process. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I was just happy to get it once. It got me it maybe got me in that Bismuth video that inspired you to start, in fact. I could have been your 84IL inspiration. It's possible.
maybe.
Depends on what Bismuth video you saw. I don't know if it was the 56 or the 55.
I don't. It's
Yeah,
been so long, I don't remember. But
yeah.
yeah.
I don't expect you to, but yeah. The 455 one, I had the 84AL record. I had 8K, so you can see how long ago that was. Because that's not that good anymore. But for I hadn't even been running a year yet, so pretty good for me. But I remember like that stood for a while until Taven like really implemented double fast excel. But I still on
Yeah.
my phone. I'm sure I showed you it, or I showed like the group at Pace. I'm gonna find it so I can show it on here while I'm thinking about it. But uh, there it is. So at AGDQ 2019, the record was still 8K, and in the practice room, I got 8K again.
Oh, really?
So I actually tied the world record. I don't. I think at that point Taven might have tied me though. I don't remember the history all too well, but it was world record when I got in the practice room, and the only evidence of that is my knowledge in that picture. So, but I mean, there's no reason to like submit it or anything. It's just a tied, and I had the record already, so it literally means nothing. But just funny to think
Yeah.
about. Another random tidbit I have in my brain, but I remember like Taven got 8-6, so like beat me by was that 7 frames or something? Because 8-0,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, and then that stood for like a year or something, and then you were or Kriller tied it, you tied it, and then beat it by a frame, and that was like your first untied record in 8-4AL.
Yeah.
And then I tied you, and you were like, nah, and then beat me the next day by a frame. So
Yeah.
sad, but at least I poked in there one final time just for a sliver of hope. But at that point, I was like, I can't run this category anymore. It hurts. So
Yeah.
that's where my PB stands today. And now you and Kuki have maxed it. And Tree will
Yep.
probably tie that eventually. And I still don't understand like falling fast Excel. I just can't do it.
Yeah. It's funny for sure.
Yeah, I think I've done it once by accident. Usually, like he'll do the animation where he gets speed facing left going there, but it's like it didn't actually save the frame. It like breaks
Yeah.
even. Like it's just so the inputs are so especially in D-pad. Like it's just so weird that I don't know. It's crazy that the record has what 4 of them.
One in first room,
One in
one in
second, one in
second room,
third.
one in third.
Well,
Yeah.
that
Four.
it's not falling, but it is like the double fast excel. It's the
Yeah.
same
I
thing,
mean,
just with a jump. Like same inputs,
yeah.
but with a jump.
Yeah. And
So,
it's less lenient. And then you also are required to do an RLR input. So,
yeah, stupid category. But
yeah.
yeah, the while it was still like not stupid, like my era, yeah, it was pretty good. But once you add in the double fast excels and the whatever, ugh, cringe. But it's maxed out now. No one ever has to worry about it again.
True.
Ties the task. But
Unless someone finds a frame save.
frame save. Well, I guess the RTA one was fairly recent in the grand scheme of things. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and that was what frame 63 over 64, I think, was that frame save.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So, but in the left plus right grand scheme of things, nothing new's been found in 14 years. So, oh yeah, cheap Excel. What exactly
Yeah.
is that?
If you get a perfect cheap right under Mario, um, you know how you can like jump against an enemy and then Mario like hits the side of it and
Mm-hmm.
then you get like a super jump or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, if you do like a one frame flick as a cheap's like going around under Mario, you get a shorter jump, so you land on the ground sooner, and it would save time. It would, I don't, would it save like a few frames? I don't remember
Ooh,
how much it would save, but it was like an idea that like, yo, if you got this cheap right here, right when Mario's doing DFA, then you could save time. But I'm pretty sure it's been like fully brute force, and I don't think it's actually
really?
possible to get a cheap right there. Like in time. Like it's possible to get a cheap right at Mario's feet in order to do it, but you can't do it like right when he stops for DFA. So
Like the cheap
I
just
think
doesn't spawn in time to be able to do it in
yeah,
normal game.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
I think it's at best like a few frames late or something.
Wow, that's
So
crazy. Because
it's
like
really unfortunate.
if it was, like that'd be fine for 8-4AL, but not like the task because the task has to start immediately.
Yeah. It would
Wow.
be fine for RTA timing, but yeah,
Hmm.
not test timing. Unless somehow it just lined up with perfect start.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, we
Yeah,
know
that would
that
be
because of how the task works. So.
yeah.
But wow, that would be funny if it worked out because I've heard talk about it, but I'm like, what's the story on this? I don't know. But yeah, it just doesn't spawn quick enough. Like if you placed it manually, it and tasked it, it would be a time save.
Yeah, I think it was at least looked into, well hacked in to
Hmm.
see. But I don't remember. I might be misremembering, but I don't know how much time it would save. It's at least like a few frames, I think, though.
Hmm. Frame
Yeah,
59. Lamau, imagine. That's funny.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah. But until then, perfect. But
Yeah.
all right. What other category extensions? Got any highlights?
Mm, one warp's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Basically, just half a warpless.
It's
I
good
think I
practice
got
for the late game. Well, if you do the route
yeah,
for it. That's the other interesting thing, the route difference.
yeah. I'm pretty sure current record's 1044.688 or something by me, and
Hmm.
then it's I got that like a year or so ago, and it's basically half of an 1854. So
Mm.
I've already played that basically late game,
Which
and
is
then that
funny
runs
because
also
I
crazy.
have 10 I have 1045 and I thought that was half of an 1857. And you save a
Yeah,
second and it's half an 1854 all of a sudden. Okay.
yeah. That run was also saved with like 6-1 FPG because I remember I like lost a frame roll in 5-4 or something.
That's
So
the issue with that category is like good 5-4 with
yeah,
Fire Flower grab. Because it just throws everything off completely. It's weird. But
yeah,
yeah.
and then bars have to be good, and
It's funny that my one warp PB has BBG, but my warpless PB doesn't. Because I was gonna do BBG for 57. My 1045 former record still in the description says 1857 soon, I suppose. And then I just got it without BBG. Lamau, but yep. I was a one warp pioneer as well, a little bit. First
yeah, true.
49, 48, 47, 46, 45. We took it down, but yeah. One warp, good. I like that. Again, good practice for warpless late game.
Yeah,
So, fan of that. Other good ones. There are a
other
lot
good.
of them.
Yeah,
That's the hard part.
actually, look. Let me
Yeah,
see.
probably a good idea.
Um, both quests fun to do after an 80% run,
Yeah.
which I recently got.
at pace.
Haven't really publicly revealed that yet, but there
Well,
you go.
I was there, so I at least know about it.
Yeah, will be uploaded soon if I'm not lazy. Co-op.
Ooh, I do like co-op.
That's a fun one.
It's a shame that you can only like do it in very rare circumstances, but
Yeah. I mean,
co-op's fun though.
we would have got co-op workless record if we had at least a few more days.
Hey, if you didn't show up until like 7 p.m. the last day, we would
Yeah,
have been
that too.
fine, man. Come on. I
I
was
mean,
there.
I wanted to go earlier, but I mean, you know,
Yeah.
schedule conflicts happen.
You mean you just had to go mini golfing? That was the
Yeah, that
scheduling
too.
conflict. Anyway, I had more important things on my mind, I'll have you know. Anyway, um yeah, it'd be cool if like 1x, like I know 1x is possible, but like the routing doesn't line up yet or something. That's the problem. Because I feel like it wouldn't be that hard. You just add in the Bowser kill and get like double 1902 or like
Yeah.
1901, 1902 or something. It's not bad. But yes, I know about the whole route issues. I was taught about that at Pace and Sag, Big Sag. That's the one problem with Warpless, the routing.
Yep. Just so many levels.
Can't escape it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even tasks get improved because of route changing. Like, oh, we found this
True,
time
yeah.
save, but it doesn't work because of the route. Oh, I'll just find this time save earlier, and now finally we can save multiple seconds because of routing. Yep. Yeah.
um
Co-op good. Like that.
Beat 5-4 was a fun grind as well,
It
which we
was
currently have tied record in.
that was one of the grinds of all time, I'd say, for me.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh god. I remember that one's funny. I remember when 253 became possible because of like Roy found a way to get a frame rule save in 1-2, the old way where you get 1-2 clip, jump in the wall once, and then like barely beat the plant. This was before you knew you could like do the blaze it clip into the wall and it spawned the plant sooner.
Yeah.
So I remember got I got the first 253 and I was like, all right, as far as we know, this is like a perfect run, minus fast excel at the end because no FPG setups were known yet. And I was like, all right, perfect run. I got this perfect run because this category sucks and no one should ever run it. And then, 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, the faster 1-2 came out. But I still have record in it with the don't play this category. We have perfect run to make people never don't waste your time on this shit. It's not worth it. That was my
Yeah.
sentiment. That was my reasoning, but yeah, it's still there.
1-1 is Fire Mario.
Ooh, that's
Very,
interesting.
very fun.
That's another thing I never figured out is the like what Darji grab, the
Yeah.
quick, yeah. I've really tried to figure it out, but I've never ever hit it before. Which is weird because I've like kind of hit it with the 1-4 Fireflower grab in a way because of Mario's animation. I've had the correct animation before, which I assume it's like very similar to how it works.
Yeah. You have to get the animation and then you have to be at either a frame off full walking speed or full walking speed right when you grab the fire flower. So it has to be the animation and you have to have like max speed basically. And then you just get running speed out of it.
Yeah.
It's really it's really tight. And then also another thing, I think there's like a coin toss component with grabbing the fire as well. So
Mm.
you have to your jump to the fire flower has to be like on the right frame as well. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
And then there's like 2 frames you can save from the mushroom, which were me and Eddie Cat Gaming got with low 24.6s,
Hmm.
where you barely like you cut it so close to the block that you barely grab the mushroom, and then like a pixel of Mario's touching the mushroom, and then that ends up saving like 2 more frames because of the coin toss with the fire flower, and then also I guess coin toss with the mushroom grab as well or something. There's so much with that category. There's so much like specific stuff, and then also frame perfect title screen start press to manipulate the mushroom coming out like because like there's like power up frame rolls like every 4 frames.
Mm.
So if you start frame perfectly on the title screen, then you're able to like catch the mushroom at the earliest possible time. There's a lot that goes into when one is Fire Mario that's unseen as well.
Yeah. So many of the category extensions are like complicated.
Yeah,
People don't even know they exist, which is funny. Again, I was a big pioneer in like giving category extensions the love they deserve. Me and Roy especially battled it for a while.
yeah,
Those were the good old days. Those are when records were free. That's why I have 177 world records as of right now. I keep track of them. Not obviously not all at the same time, but just
yeah.
anytime you get a record, I mean it counts. Goes towards the total. So, large number. Thank you category extensions for your support in like 100 of those. Probably more even. I don't know. Big number.
I do
Anyway.
remember I do remember Roy like grinding out category extensions. Like every time he'd get one world record, he'd just move on to the next, and then it was just record after record. That was actually really fun to watch his streams and watch him do that.
Yeah,
I
and then
miss
I
Roy.
beat all of them, and then you beat all of mine, and yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, good days. Like Roy and I had like a rivalry to how many category extensions we could hold. Although there were some categories I just did not like and did not want to touch, like a lot of the 10 lives or coin, like those were boring. I wanted the
Yeah,
fun ones,
that's fair.
but I still have a few of them. I think. What do I have anymore? Because I used to have like, I don't know, 25 of them, but it's not like that anymore. And it's all your fault. But yeah, I remember when you started like taking category extensions more seriously, and I have like a YouTube playlist of all of my current records, and my number was like 30 something, and now it's like at like 12. I was like,
Oh
"Oh,
man,
Sag," but my former world
yeah,
record playlist is like really big, so that's fine. That's just as important, right? It should be.
yeah.
But yeah, there's so many fun ones. Walkathon's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Um, Blindfolded's really sick. Like that's crazy what it's at right now.
I really want to make a blindfolded return, but if I ever wanted to get world record in that, I because it's such like a different category. It's completely different from any other CE because obviously
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole nother realm of relying on audio and you know BPM of the music and stuff like that to time input. So
Mm-hmm.
I would have to like really grind that category out if I ever wanted to get record in that again because Crescendo is a living
Insane.
legend,
Yeah.
and he, yeah, pushed that category very, very far, and he's
I
gonna go even farther because I'm pretty sure he's planning to go for 50x, which is gonna be just
yeah.
unbelievable.
It's crazy that the blindfolded world record will soon be like almost within 10 seconds of just eyes open.
Yeah, it's crazy to think.
I remember when the only blindfolded run there was that Japanese guy. with like 14 minutes that was just there for years and years, and I thought that was insane. And we didn't even think it was real fully because like he ends 8-3 with 0-0-0 time left in that run.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, really? But I don't know. It's there. But now it's
Yeah.
like, okay. Now it's like 5-1x. Okay. That's fine. That makes sense. Uh that category is ridiculous. Would recommend. Very good to watch because you
Yeah,
can see more of what's going on than they can. And that's what
true.
makes it funny. Yeah, so many good category extensions. So many garbage ones too, but so many good ones.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Like I can't even think of all of them right now. It's been so long since I've like really taken them seriously, but it was fun when you could. Records were just free before me and then you like actually try harded them.
Yeah.
God. Good times, but why does Stagio Warpless exist? True. Uh, just because Stagio any percent exists, but also Aeson Warpless doesn't exist. So what am I saying? It
Oh yeah,
exists.
Roy.
It exists to pain for pain and torture. That's why it exists. Does
Roy
Roy
still
still have
has.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, he's
It's
had it
just
for
him
5
and
years.
it's just him and Oth, right?
And Arya is
Oh,
apparently
okay.
got a run 9 days ago. But yeah, still
One
only 3 people.
144 firework and all power ups are good ones. Wow. Thank you for choosing two that I still have the record in. I appreciate that. I'm still not. I still need to improve both of them too. Ugh. Especially all power ups. I've been looking to get the sub 21 forever, and I just haven't. Too many. There's just too many categories to play all at the same time. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like I want to do this, and then my list 20 categories long, and I'm like, well, shit. I can't do all of these. Very sad. But yeah, some good choices there. So many. Crash. Yeah, that's an interest. That's the newest edition. That's an interesting one. I'm glad my
Yeah.
first PB was a 46.
Gaster pushed that really far as well with 46.2.
Yeah, I don't quite understand how the crash works. All I know is that I've done it before pretty quickly. I'll take it. That's one of those categories though that I'm like, why? But why not? Why, but
Yeah.
also why not? There's a ton of those though. Like there were talks to like years ago to like remove a bunch of categories because we thought there were just too many, and I was a big advocate for like, no, let me have my records, please. That was my, but eh, I mean, most of them have like quite a bit of runners, so at least they're not useless fully or anything. But there are way too many. We need to stop
Yeah.
adding them.
All one-up mushrooms, and then it has like 5 subcategories or whatever.
Yeah,
That, that's pretty crazy
it used
though.
to just be all one up mushrooms. I think it just used to be all one up mushrooms warpless because that's the only one I ran. But then they're like, let's do 1cc. Let's do no restriction. Let's do. I'm like, okay, sure, go off, I guess. But and then even like all one up mushrooms warpless had a big rule change. It used to just be you got timing ended when you grabbed the 1 and 8-2, but now you have to like beat 8-4 with them all. So now there's like
Oh.
warpless and legacy, and there's way too many categories. And it's funny because I think I have legacy record but not warpless record anymore, just because someone grabbed the last mushroom later than I, but beat I like took damage or something and they didn't. I don't know. It's weird. Category extensions have way so much history that just no one knows about,
Yeah.
and I'm like really trying to hang on to as much knowledge as I can somewhere, just in case, because some of them are cool. Yeah. Any other category extension stories?
Mm, Pacifist was really fun to run, and I know we kind of had some competition in that as well.
Yeah. I remember I got the first 56 and then but it was like really bad 8-4, so you beat that and then I was like and then I beat you with an even better 8-4 because I went for two fast excels and got a .6.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll be done here." And then 8-2 FPG was found, so now I'm like, "Well, I want to do that, but what? 455 needs plate 1, right? Or something?"
Yeah.
No thanks.
Plate
So,
1, 8-2 FPG, 8-3, and then 8F 8-4 because you're on low 456
yeah.
pace. So you need to,
Yeah, I'll be good with like a low 56 with 8-2 because I do know how to do 8-2 FPG. It's
yeah.
actually it's actually not a it's not hard to set up at all. That's what I learned. You just what you land first pixel on like you're doing TAS 8-2, do a walking speed jump and then hold B and jump off the pipe and that's it
Yeah.
essentially.
Just double frame rate jump with walking speed.
Yeah, like
And then you're set up for D5.
love that. Yeah, pacifist it is a fun one.
Yeah.
I I mean, you name any category, I probably have a history with it.
Ace-on.
ASOT, yeah, that was my first world record ever.
Oh, was
Was
it?
456 or 446 in January of 2018. Cosmic had a
Oh, wow.
449 and I beat it. That was back when I played on emulator, streamed at 30 FPS, had the worst layout ever. Ah, good times. That was my first ever world record. And then I thought I got the first sub 440, but I'm glad I learned much later that frame counts were wrong. Thanks, B-Dub or
Yeah.
whatever I used back then for crushing my dreams there, but whatever. Big Sag. Oh well. I still need to get that. It's just ever since like that frame count difference that was brought upon like year or two later, it just killed my motivation to ever play that again, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Big Sag, but eventually I'll get over it, I'm sure. So, but yeah, um, my run was the first to have every FPG in it. The 446 had every full
Yo.
FPG, and it's funny because it's that slow. Like I made a 2 frame rule mistake in 1-2. Like none of the I was still new to the game, so I didn't play well. I did like this frame perfect jump in 8-4 by accident. It was funny. I still remember it. It was in the second room of 8-4. This is before like the wrong warp was known. So like the best possible time was like a 444, 443. But um an 8-4, in the second room, you come out of the pipe, the Beatles. Normally you do the frame perfect jump, but you can like jump a frame late and you'll clip through the pipe, so it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah.
I jumped early, so I missed the jump entirely and ran into the pipe floor level. The
Right in front
beat
of the Beatles.
right in front of the Beatles. I survived. I accidentally
Wow.
panicked a frame perfect jump off the beetle. I bonked the
What?
ceiling and stomped the beetle, like the ceiling of the pipe.
Holy.
And I just still remember that because it's so absurd that worked out. And then I did I accidentally like then jumped off the paratrooper there and somehow like still landed on the pipe off that bounce. It shouldn't have
Oh
worked, but
my
it did.
gosh.
And then had the worst black climb in the world. Oh my god. That run is just comedy. I'd recommend that giving that run a watch to anyone. It is if you just want
Yeah,
to laugh that was a world record. There you go.
I
I
definitely gotta watch
I
that.
was so new. It shows, but I somehow got every frame perfect full FPG. So I must have been okay. I was doing something right. Oh, and the 8-2 or the 8-3 setup to slow down, just this like backwards slow jump. Just thinking about that run is so funny. Asan, what a speed run.
True.
Yep, that's a good one. Um, yeah, I can't really think of anything else that really pops out at me. I would have said glitchless, but now that's deservedly a main category, so
Yeah.
we love to hear that. At least I do. But yeah. And then there's like the all the like Mario 1 physics games. Like I I used to have the All Night Nippon record sweep for Mario at least. That was a good
Oh
time.
yeah.
I still have A through D any percent, but none of my times were that good. Any percent my run was pretty good though. I did like push that really far until whatever else happened, but I don't even remember. I just remember I pushed 90% pretty far. Because
Yeah.
it was like 509 and then I got like a mid 08 and I was like, "Okay, that's pretty good." Moving on. But A through D warpless like there no one ran that, so it was just literally free world record. And then that gave me the sweep. I was like, "Pog." Now I just have one, which is A through D any percent. And that run isn't even good. Free world record for anyone who wants it, but I'll probably come back eventually. Yeah, All Night Nippon is fun. You, I mean, how hard is a sub? What was it? Sub 20 warpless? Is that like
Oh,
hard?
it's pretty difficult, but the main like thing that was time consuming was the routing. I
Oh,
remember,
the routing was bad.
yeah, like I knew sub 20 was possible. Like I figured that out in like late 2022 or something,
Oh,
and I
I knew it
wanted to
was
make it a
possible
2023
since
goal.
like 2020, man. I just
Yeah.
maybe it was just that executing it would have been hard, but that was always like my end goal. Like I really wanted, I would be sick to get sub 20, but I knew it'd be hard, so I just never did it. But
Yeah, that took like multiple days of routing, and then I settled on like 9-second title screen delay because I had a good route. Um, yeah, it's pretty optimized, honestly. Like that run is
yeah,
pretty good. I didn't make a mistake. I think it was 7-2, which is like the 6-2 2J replica.
okay, well, yeah,
I made like a mistake there, lost like 2 or 3 frame rolls, but then I saved it back because you have that one like frame perfect 2 frame jump you can do in 4-4 and 7-4,
oh yeah,
and
yeah,
it wasn't in my route originally for 7-4 to do the frame perfect 2 frame jump, but I literally needed it for sub 20,
mm,
so I went for it and got it. So
yeah.
the run was saved with that, which is pretty nice. And then I was still a frame roll behind going into 8-1, but then I got perfect excel 8-1 and then
Mm.
saved good judges frame roll. So then I was back on route. So that was pretty clutch.
Yeah, that it's funny. There's no star to hit, so you get bad judges frame rule every time. But if you get a fast excel, you then save that extra frame, so you get that frame rule.
Yeah.
Just funny all night Nippon quirk.
And then there's plate one, which is double frame roll save and all night Nippon. which is an any percent record.
Yeah, I just did fast Excel, so but it worked out. Although I did get to do the sick. I had it in the sick like 4-2 strat where you do a wall jump bump and then get 3 bump that way. Love that strat.
Yeah. And then the frame rolls are goofy. Like 1-1,
Yeah, they're like
you
different.
play perfectly, and then do like Johnny Boy FPG where you do the Excel and then top step. Then
Mm.
you save double frame roll save. Or you get
Yeah,
like a
you
double
can get
frame roll
FPG
save.
frame rule without FPG. That's what I always liked.
Yeah, that too. Um,
And then you can't do like 1-2 clip because the frame rule doesn't line up to be fast enough or something.
yeah,
So it's like,
I'm
well,
still the only person who's gotten that frame roll, and it's literally like perfect everything, perfect execution. It's the equivalent of I think it's a remainder 6 1-2G,
oh,
which
that's not
is
that's
I
not
think
terrible.
would be an R19 pipe entry. I can
Oh,
in the description of my video.
that is. I thought it was like I thought you needed like, the fast excel at the start of the level or. Okay, that's not as bad.
That's I that's what I did just to get so it's a remainder 6 1-2G, which is 4-8 into 4-1 on like normal SMB1.
8.
Um
Okay.
so I did UFA at the start of the level, perfect 1-2G, and then I was also doing a setup to where I would do specific like right release and left press and then right repress inputs that could save an extra frame in warp zone. And I remember I didn't get that. I just got remainder 0, but I was set up for it's like Johnny Boy found a setup where you do perfect clip and then you're set up for another frame save in warp zone. So you have to control your subpixels while doing 1-2G, which was really difficult.
I love that. Love that.
But yeah.
Hmm. And then the big thing for that is BBG isn't in that run yet because of how stupid the physics are for that.
Yeah.
I know it's possible though, but the setup for it's so jank.
Yeah. Do you want to come back to All Night Nippon and add that in for a sweet 506? But
Yeah, I think
I'm
my end goal's 506 as well with the same thing, but nothing
yeah.
beyond that. There's just no reason to.
Yeah, beyond that, probably done.
Yeah, definitely feel the same way. Yeah, my end goal for Warpless is sub 20 as well, so maybe I'll be the second person to get one. Who knows? But yeah, that'd be cool. Um,
Yeah.
All I Nippon is just it's cool. It's again unique. Uh, very weird. It's like All Stars. It's weird. Like there's Mario 1, then there's like the PAL version. There's All Stars. There's All Night Nippon. They're all so different.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like especially the first three I said, like All Night Nippon at least has like different levels, but the other three are all this exact same game, just with completely different physics for all of them. Pretty much. It's weird. And they're all their own things, which makes it so many options.
Yeah.
Complicated game. Then there's God, what else is there? There's verses, though no one's really touched that much. And that's weird because of the timer's faster and levels are modified to be harder for arcade reasons. And
Yeah.
it's so weird. Everything's so weird. And then I think that's like all of the like main SMB1 physics engine ripoffs, official ripoffs anyway.
Yeah.
And then
I just
there's
realized
oh
Ethan RTA still has record in
yeah,
VS SMB. for 4 years.
Yeah, again, no one touches it. I mean, I did once, but it's just so awkward.
Yeah.
Again, like the timer and the levels are so modified. It is nothing like you would think. And then like there's a lot of lost levels in the 80% run, but it has SMB1 physics. It's not like All Night Nippon where it's 2J physics. It's SMB1 physics. So it's so
Yeah.
weird. It's so just unnatural. It's like a personalized copy of Mario 1. It's weird, but
And then they just change like the maze movement,
mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
Hit the
and that's the other
memorize it
thing. Like
between
All Night
SMB1,
Nippon, yeah, All Night
All Night
Nippon has
Nippon.
different
Yes.
mazes than Mario 1, and then Versus has different from both. It's so confusing. Why did they
Yeah.
do it this way? Anyway, ah, it's just so fucking weird. But yeah, and then there's oh yeah, we haven't talked about Lost Levels at all. Lost Levels.
Yeah.
There's a speed run. It isn't like the 80% run like harder than Mario 1 80% right now.
I
Mm,
wouldn't. There's
no,
still like I still like my end goal for SMB 2J would still be 7 4x.
really.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, it would be ridiculous, but I do want to get that. And then I think I'm done after that. Like, I
Yeah,
think I could get a 6 4x with some grind, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't necessarily say it's harder than SMB 1. At least for me, I don't think.
really. I just feel like there's like more FPGs in there and harder strategies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of tight frame roll saves and stuff I do, but
Hmm.
I think it's definitely up there. Like it's hard to say because they're two different games, obviously, but it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's I optimized that a lot as well.
Hmm. I mean, still no one else even has a 52 yet.
Yeah,
So I don't really like talking about 2J right now because I've had so many runs on 54 pace die and 8-4. I still need to figure
yeah,
out like the Koopa thing because I'll always like stomp in it and get hole in one or die because I tried to jump higher because I got hole in one and then I die because I wasn't moving down yet. That's like the hardest part for some reason.
yeah. I mean, I feel like everyone struggles with that jump. It's just it's so specific. The way you have to bop the Koopa and then also not fall in the hole. It's
Yeah,
it's really weird.
like it's like sub-pixel dependent almost with like the jump you get off of the bounce. I don't know, it's weird.
And then
Because most
probably
of the time
coin
you're
toss
yeah, and
as
coin
well,
toss.
whether you
Oh my
bounce
god.
higher or lower.
Fuck that Koopa. Anyway,
True. And that hole.
yeah,
Pesky little hole.
yeah, that like end thing was perfectly designed to just be terrible for speedruns.
Yep.
It's
They knew what they were doing.
apparently it's crazy just how horrible it is. But anyway, yeah, any percent is quite fun. Very hard now. Uh, Warpless, man, I've not played Warpless in a while. I'm realizing, and I've been like grinding it for 2 years almost because it was like right off 57 in in Mario One Warpless. See, that's
Yeah.
another like record that took me like 14 months or something for no reason. It's weird. Keep getting in these ruts, but and now the top three is like, or no, top four is like super contested.
Yeah, all 1x too. I actually
Yeah.
just thought of that. No one has a 21 2x on the board right now.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a gap between Jeremy's low 21 3x and Scalpel's high 21 1x.
It sucks because I've been to 6-2 so many times on 21-14 pace, and 6-2 just sucks so hard.
Yeah.
But if I could just get out of there, beat world record by like 4 seconds, it'd be sick. Especially with like the new 7-4 strats and everything. Oh, Be so free. Oh well.
Yeah.
That I don't know if you feel this way, but that category specifically, I don't know what it is, but it like completely ruins my mental. Just absolutely obliterates it.
I mean, it's there's just so much more of 2J like that you can get screwed over by that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, but
Yeah.
like it's so picky. It's so unbelievably picky.
Yeah, it
Like, oh,
is.
you touch down for a frame in water. Here's the worst cheat pattern you've ever seen. Suck it. I don't know. It's so weird. And
Yeah,
is
I did like everything I could with my 2118 to just figure out like exactly. I tried to basically just limit anything RNG based and make it skill based if
yeah.
possible, and it
Like
paid
that's
off.
what I'm trying to do, which makes it incredibly hard, but
Yeah.
because I get like 3-4 ultra. I get like 4 on the timer. So like
Oh yeah.
perfect
There's
jump and ultra kill. And that lines up things nicely. But 6-2 is still just like I don't know. I cannot like I have 6-2 figured out to a T and it still fucks me up. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah.
I really hate 6-2. I have a gripe with 6-2. If 6-2 didn't exist, that game would be free, but 6-2 is the reason I can't sleep at night. I don't know. Other than that,
Yeah,
that category would be okay.
it's just the worst level in the whole run
It
for
really
sure.
is. I don't know. Like, yeah, especially when you don't have things routed out. Like, it was very luck based as a run, just because of how patterns worked in that game.
Yeah.
Over time, it's gotten less and less of that, but it on top of that, it adds like this difficulty ceiling that is just weird to comprehend almost. I don't know. It's a weird one,
Yeah.
but it looks cool, at least. But yeah, there's still some work that needs to be done there. Um, what else we got? I know there's I was my first like records and lost levels were the A through D any percent warpless ones, so I know you've done any percent at least.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
bar skip,
Yeah, and again,
newest
something I've
edition.
never been able to do. Like I know how you do it, right? You like run off, you release right for like 10 frames or something in the air.
Oh, that was the old complicated setup.
Oh, great, there's more?
Yeah, no, what we do now is a frame perfect jump and it's just automatically set up. So it's one frame perfect jump for the setup and then a frame perfect jump through the bar.
Wow,
It's
that
the
sounds
setup
so much
background.
easier.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get a 715 or 615 real quick. No, but God, my original like grind with that category, again, like before routing, so RNG based with like 6-3 if you don't know what's going to happen and stuff, and then B2 was not fun, but routing made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
That's crazy how much that bar skip saves. I think that's like 2 seconds
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
because Scalpel beat my 618 with the 616, and I think he like tied me to T4 and then just added that. But I could be misremembering. I'm not entirely sure. Something
Oh
like that,
yeah, and
anyway.
then A1 flag despawn. My
Oh
run had
yeah,
in it. As well.
yep, yeah.
And
Not
then there's
the
still
wacky like backwards jump to land on the Kupo, like kind of below it and like jump off the stair.
oh
I
yeah.
remember when that was found. I did that as early as my 624. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, like it did not need to be in there that early, but it was. It's a interesting category. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
That category is pretty fun, honestly. I had a lot of fun playing A through D.
I did not, but nowadays it's a lot better. Uh Again, I was there pushing it down before patterns were figured out. So,
Yeah.
that did
I mean,
not make
it's
it fun.
I could imagine how brutal this category would be without patterns.
Yeah. camera frame rate seems really bad for some reason. I'm going to reactivate it. Nope, still weird. Oh well. Um, maybe my computer's dying. Wouldn't be the first time. Let's see. That other than category extensions, that's about it for lost levels. I don't think you've done any other like main. Yeah, no. But
Yeah. Other than CE lost
yeah,
levels,
like you've. I know you have
max
crash
out
record,
A4L.
but yeah, another like perfect
That's well.
A4AL. Now that was the A4AL I grinded the hell out of.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I got first sub 56, is it right? It's 55. Record's like 55 seconds, right? Trying to re-
55.575
Yeah, okay.
right now.
I got the first sub 56 and that was before bar skip and then bar skip was found and then I got like dot 7. I know I got first dot 6 and then I got like mid dot 6 and that's my PB now and then it got perfected by you and that's where that is. But
Yeah.
God, the bar
I
skip
think
discovery, I remember it. It was so weird.
yeah. And then I do remember right after my first dot six, which was I think was it tied record? I don't know,
I
but
think
you
you
beat it by
tied
two
me.
more frames.
Yeah.
So you're a frame faster in the last stream than you did last stream.
Oh
And
yeah.
then that was insane at the time. I
Hmm.
do remember that. That
Yeah,
was
my PB right now is when I got it was stupid. Stupid good. It
yeah.
was before like the extra couple frames in water. Um before any double fast excels or anything. There were no double fast excels. It was essentially a perfect run for what I did, except I did save one frame in water one other time, and I got like 0 to warp zones to the K, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was possible. But yeah,
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, that run's pretty good. Pretty happy with that one. Um,
And then yeah, oh my gosh. This category is so funny because I I found a frame rule that where the blooper is fully out of the way, like right after you do the clip, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I've never seen this before. I
mm,
forgot how I came to find it, but I found that, and then a day later, Kriller was looking into stuff, and he was like, "Okay, so you're able to like manipulate Y positioning, and then because at the time of me finding like the frame roll with the blooper out of the way, it was only possible to get bar skip with 136 X pause,
mm,
but Krilla looked into it the next day and he was like, so you can get it with 134 at like least. And that's also what Happy Lee's left plus right test does. He does 134 X pause.
mm,
Um and then Kriller found it to be possible RTA. He was like, it's possible, but you have to manipulate like position like speed your y speed, you have to manipulate that, and
okay.
it's only going to be possible with the blooper fully out of the way.
Hmm.
and and I was like, wait, I found a frame rule the day before that, so we ended up finding out that it's possible just from that, and we are like, okay, so there's another frame save, and then eventually yeah, I ended up getting that frame save and then getting max out in that category. But there's only like less than 10 frame rolls. Like I brute force like all the frame rolls before frame roll loop, which is like 4,000 something frame rolls.
Jesus.
And I brute force all of them and I only found like 8 frame rolls where the blooper's fully out of the way, which is crazy. So it's
Okay.
super rare.
Well, respect the dedication.
Yeah.
Jesus. I didn't realize it was
So
that bad.
and then I think yeah, top 3 has the 134 X pause bar skip, which we just call task bar skip at this point.
Yeah,
But
I need
yeah,
to learn it, but bar skip was not fun.
yeah,
But maybe with like a better setup like that, it'd be, I don't know. Depends, but I mean, it looks cool. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not something I ever quite understood, like how to get under it. It just happens sometimes. It's like, oh, okay, I gotta run now. Yay!
Yeah, it's so weirdly like precise, and not only that, it's like subpixel based as well. Like it's really easy to get a zero frame window to just
Hmm.
not be able to bar skip at all, even if you have the correct X pause. So
Your
it's a lot that
bonks on the
goes into
ceiling
that.
like have to be perfect to.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's so weird. But I remember its discovery and being on the like cusp of it. That was like me and Scrim battle, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what it was. And then I took it to the dot sixes, and then here we are at perfection again, yet again. Never have to. No one ever has to play that category again, unless they want to.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So yeah, that's lost levels, I guess, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you've ran like what, 20 ROM hacks?
Yeah, quite a few ROM
Th-
hacks.
Are there any highlights there?
Super Mr. Krabs very optimized.
Yeah,
The final second barrier, task tie going into 8-4.
yeah, that's a
Don't know
good.
why I do this to myself with the ROM hacks, but I
Yeah,
do.
I was questioning it myself. Uh,
um, what else? There's um, I don't. As far as ROM hacks go, I think the most optimized was definitely Super Mr. Krabs, but
mhm.
there's also like other funny ROM hacks. Toad's Christmas Adventure, Among Us Bros,
Among Us.
where Electric Pants, the creator of that game, they modified it to where if you do normal FPG, you get full FPG. So
Okay.
that was fun to run. And then other pointless things like Super Pixel Bros, which is literally just a reskin of normal SMV1.
Yeah.
For some reason, got a 455 in that as well.
Just
But yeah,
because.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you like any of those ROM hacks like the ones you played before speedrunning?
Um, I don't think so. Maybe Super Mr. Krabs.
Mm,
Actually, yeah, I think I might maybe Super Mr. Krabs. I think I do remember that I played early on, but other than that, I don't think. I'm looking at my profile right now. I don't think I ran anything else
mm.
or played anything else before I really got into speedrunning.
Fair enough.
It was mostly just random ROM hacks. Like, yeah, I don't even remember the half of them, but yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, I just knew there was large collection, and most of them are pretty optimized, just for whatever reason. Why not? So there they are. And then I guess the only other thing is Red Ball.
Red Ball. Yeah,
Red Ball. Finally, something non-Mario.
true. So I got into that game the same exact way I did SMV1, where it was a childhood game I played. I was actually low key obsessed with this game as a kid, kinda. It was really funny. I played like there was like a mobile version of it. I played a lot of Flash games as a kid. Super Mario Flash was one of them, which I know people speedrun that,
Oh, I've
and
played that plenty.
that
Level
game is
editor,
absolutely, yeah, the level editor, the OG
Mario
Super
Maker.
Mario
Yeah.
Maker, the
With the
OG.
level codes that were like infinite strings long or whatever.
Oh yeah, that too. Um,
Good times were had.
yeah, simpler times.
Mm.
So
Miss
there
those
was,
days.
yeah, is that. Um, but yeah, I played Flash games quite a bit when I was like 5 or 6, just on family desktop, which was fun.
Yeah, I gotta go to
And
cool math games on the elementary
yeah,
school computer browser. That was my childhood. So.
yeah, and yeah, I played a lot of Flash games, but Red Ball was one that I liked a lot. I was obsessed as a kid for whatever reason with like finding basically just glitch hunting. Like
Mm.
I loved glitches. I don't know what it was, but the aspect of like I guess breaking the game outside of what was intended was like super cool to me.
Did you do that in SMB1 as a kid?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Like
Same.
other than like the infamous minus world,
Hmm.
there was like in 4-2 you break two bricks on the side of the screen, and then as big Mario you jump up, and then Mario, you
Yeah,
clip in from
he
the side of the
slides over.
screen.
Yep.
So I
I
remember
I was
doing
doing
that as
the
a
exact
kid,
same things.
and I
On like
and then I would like run left, and like I would be like, "Yo, Mario's moonwalking. It looks cool." Because he would be
yeah.
like sliding to the right and then running to the left.
Hmm. It, also like ducking under like the beginning of 4-2 and then holding left.
Yeah. Um, but for Red Bull, I played that game as a kid. I liked it a lot, pretty obsessed with it. But then I had that like decade long gap. Same with SMB1, where I kind of just moved on with life, was doing other things. But it was like 2 years ago or something. I found its maximum made like uh, a 12 levels world record progression, which 12 levels is basically the any percent of Red Bull, pretty
Hmm.
much. And I was like, dude, people speedrun this game, and I've played this as a kid. No way. And it was literally the exact same thing as SMB1, how I got into it. So I downloaded it at first, was kind of just casually playing it because, childhood game, and it brought back good memories. But then I tried speedrunning it, and yeah, currently second place, but former world record holder in that game as well.
Hmm.
There's a lot that goes into that game is like really unique as well. Like it's it's very interesting, especially like the practice rum or whatever you want to call it in that game. There's like strings instead. There's like strings and like some kind of input display, and then you paste in a string of like stuff, and then it'll be like for a specific setup, and then you'll have like an input display at the bottom left that basically not really an input display, but it'll show like if you hit the frame perfects or not.
Mm.
And yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's it's really funny, and that game is also just that was a pretty fun game to speedrun as well. I do want to come back to that.
Yeah.
Smittyland did end up stealing my world record,
How dare
but
he?
yeah,
He does
it's
that a
funny
lot though.
because
It's fun. So.
yeah, I mean it's funny because the top 3 Red Ball runners right now are also Mario runners. So it's obviously me and Manyland first and
Hmm.
second, or Manyland and me first and second, I should say,
Yeah.
and then Verdict, who is also former world record holder. He runs other Flash games, but he runs I think I don't know if it's his like main game, but he has world records in a Flash game called Super Mario 63. And
Oh,
it's
I know what
basically
that is.
that game I also played a lot as a kid. That
Hmm.
I just thinking back on it, like gosh, I really want to play that game again. I honestly might speedrun that game eventually
Oh well, there you
because
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, so many
but
Flash games. Just yeah, I would just type Mario Flash games as a kid all the time.
yeah.
I have a bunch of remember or I have a bunch of memories of just random games, like one where it's Mario 3 sprites and he just keeps jumping nonstop and you gotta bounce your way. And then there's always the ones where you like stomp a Goomba and it becomes this gory mesh of stuff for some reason because edgy Flash shit, I guess.
Oh man, I don't
Those were
I
the
don't remember any
days.
of that, but that
Oh
sounds
well.
funny. I
I
probably didn't
am
play.
I, I am at least slightly older than you, so
Yeah,
maybe that's
true.
why. Maybe those 6 years really make a difference on the internet.
Yeah.
But there are some good ones out there. I'm trying to remember any like hmm. I guess I really mainly just played Mario Flash, so obviously. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, good times were had. It's weird I can't like think of them all too much anymore because that was like just my childhood for years. Because all we had was an NES and then a computer.
Yeah.
So there it was. I went from NES to Wii. That was my progression of consoles. It's a pretty big
I
step up, I'd say.
yeah, that's kind of what I did in a way, but I didn't play like I remember I played like New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I remember
Hmm.
getting that for like Christmas and I love that game a lot. Um but I didn't really other than like Wii Sports and stuff, I didn't really play too much more. And then I kind of just lost interest like eventually.
Yeah. I had an extensive Wii collection of garbage, but also some good stuff. I guess I had DSs growing up too. I don't think about that too much, but I did.
Yeah, DS is something I never really. I think I had one, but I who knows where it is. I don't. I never played on it either.
Mm.
If I did have one, probably just misremembering. But yeah, I don't know.
I remember, as far as I knew as a kid, that Mario 64 DS was just a regular original game. I didn't know what a Nintendo 64 was.
Yeah, the only time I've played like SM64 was on Wii with the
Mm.
what was it, the little adapter you plug in the NES, or I mean not the Wii controller.
Mm-hmm. With the classic controller?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I had plenty of Wii VC because our NES died. Or at least we
Mm.
thought it died, but like 10 years later, I got it to work again just by jiggling some stuff around. So that's what I ran on for a while before I got my Famicom.
Yeah.
So that worked out. I would have started on console a lot sooner because I didn't play on console because I thought the console was dead, but it wasn't. Oh well,
Yeah.
we learn. Also, going to GDQ helped a lot. But anyway, yeah. Where were we? Oh,
Red
I think
Ball?
we're just yeah. I think we were just talking about Flash games. I think you finished the point though,
Yeah.
so I think we're good. But um, just funny that it's just Mario and Red Ball. Those are like the
Yeah.
only two games. Or well, there's plenty of them, but it's all like SMB1 engine. Like I think
Yeah.
that's your entire like speedrunning history is SMB1 engine and Red Ball, right?
Yeah, it's literally it.
I guess that's all you need, really.
I have not like felt any urge to branch out yet, which I'm
Hmm.
certain I will eventually to I do want to eventually like play I don't know, like SMB3, 2U,
Hmm.
SM64,
Hmm.
but um I still just feel like I have unfinished business with SMB1. I mean, as much as I've done already, I
I
just
think
want
at
to
this point it'll never be
push it even
finished if you're
further.
not satisfied by now, but okay.
Yeah.
Go off, I guess. I had to branch off just to save my sanity. Like, it's just too much of the same thing over and over at this point.
Yeah,
But,
I somehow have not gotten bored. I'm
well,
still rolling, which is why
everyone's
probably
different, so works for you, go off.
yeah.
So, but, it feels like it's a rare case. I feel like most people just get sick of it after a while, and not too long of a while either. But,
Yeah.
especially if you get good, then it's just like, oh, I dread the thought of any percent now. Just like, oh, why would I want to do that to myself? But I will eventually,
Yeah.
because I hate myself. But so, I mean, yeah, you still have plenty of time to branch out, but you will, maybe.
I say that. I don't know how long it'll be, but
Could be 1 month, it could be 10 years.
yeah,
Somewhere in that range, probably.
we'll see. Only the future can tell, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Future's a scary place. I don't like thinking about it, so.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, nice to hear there could be some other Mario games because there are plenty of them.
Yep.
Um, so we just got back from Pace. That
We
was your
did.
first like true speedrunning event, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, other than the Flibbity event in Denver, Colorado, that
Mm-hmm.
was like day long or whatever. Yeah, that was my first like major event, and all week long. Definitely one of the funnest weeks I've had in my entire life. I I would love to do that again for sure.
Yeah. All right. That's how I felt my first GDQ. Like going to your first like event, it's probably not the same for anyone, but for me it made me realize like that's my favorite part of speedrunning is just
Yeah, definitely.
that. So that's why I've gone to 5 GDQs and 2 paces now. Even though my wallet is not happy with me, but and we make do. Um, it's just too fun. But yeah, I think once you go to your
Yeah,
first one, you make that connection. It's like, well, now I want to go to a mall. It's why would I miss out on fun? So
exactly. And it was so depressing when I came
yeah,
back home. For like multiple days too.
I
It
have.
was
Why do you
like,
think I haven't streamed since I've been back? Like I get it.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
precisely.
man,
It's insane how fun it is.
yeah, it's
That one
I mean,
in particular for me, just because, well, first of all, I like met Mario 1 people for the first time that I wouldn't have met regardless. And then like the people I have known, it's been 3 years because of COVID. So it
yeah.
was like, holy shit, finally, basically. So I definitely felt it. Not to mention my trip home sucked ass. So really
Oh
did not
yeah.
help, but we make do.
I'm glad my flights didn't get delayed or anything. It seemed like everyone else was just getting completely screwed over, like delayed,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, pushed
It,
back,
it
whatever.
was a time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
One of the days of all time. But yeah, I mean, that's speedrunning right there. That's the real part of it. The fun.
Yeah,
That's the most fun part of it, I think.
definitely.
So, would recommend a pace or a GDQ to anyone who is interested. Very fun. Just make sure you can afford it. Unlike me, who is constantly in debt because of these trips, but oh well. Just too fun. What can I say? It's a good time. So, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Internet little hiccup. See, I've only dropped 300 frames in like the past 2 hours, but on the other connection, like literally lost connection from internet for a minute. So I don't know. I don't know how it decides to work. It's weird. I need to figure that out someday. But yeah,
Mm,
so I guess I'll hear you'll definitely go to more events.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Yes.
Now, the recommendation I'll make, at least for in a pace, well, because it wouldn't matter for GDQ, so at least for future paces, I'm sure the Airbnb was fun, but being at the hotel is a lot easier. That's my recommendation.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can still get like a group of four in a hotel room, get a setup going or whatever. And then you're like in the place where everyone is. That's where all the parties happen. Now, maybe
Yeah.
give it
You
a
don't
few
have to drive
years, but
10 minutes.
yeah, driving driving sucks, and then like that's a short walk to the venue. So
Yeah, wasn't it like a 2-minute walk or something?
it's like 5
I
minutes,
heard.
but yeah.
Yeah. So no need for
Um,
like Uber, no
no
blowing money on that.
Ubers. Yeah. It's funny, the walk between the hotel and the venue is faster than driving, just because you can walk through like this site directly to it, but there's no roads that go there. You have to like go a mile in one direction, then a mile back. It's so
Oh
Laurel,
wow.
Maryland is a city I would not recommend anyone visit unless you're going to Pace. That is, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking there with their road layouts, but all the one
Yeah.
ways and shit too. Just it's so bad. Like yeah, Alabastro knows.
Alabaster would know. Yeah.
Fucking driver of the week, I guess. Picking up everyone, but it's so bad. So yeah, would recommend hotel. Hotel is fun. That's where all the fun stuff happens that isn't the venue. So that's my future recommendation. So keep that in mind, I guess. Anyway,
All right.
um, but yeah, that's just for paces, and I assume like a lot of they'd have to have a Mario One tournament to get the same group of all the group of people going again.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna go even if they didn't have Mario One, just because I went last year and it was fun. Although I went last year because a run got accepted, so I don't know, but it was fun. Uh, so I'm glad more there were like double the amount of people that went this time, and they had the like room opened for more setups
Yeah.
and stuff, and it really made it like what I think that event could be. Like that was like an actual stepping stone to better things, because the first one was so like compact and small, and it was still fun, but just not like it was this time. So hopefully more future paces for some Mario 1 action. I'm
Yeah.
hopeful. I mean, the
I don't
tournament went
know.
so well,
Yeah.
so they
I
gotta
was
have it
so.
back.
Hopefully it's in the November pace.
Yeah,
I'd
we'll
love it
see.
back.
Yeah.
Although I'll probably be in school, college stuff by then.
Yeah.
But surely I can take a week off.
Yeah, we'll see
Be
about
all
that.
right.
Yeah. Luckily, I've never had to worry about school at the same time as speedrunning too much. I started when I started college, but college didn't really affect me too much. Although I did in 2019 get Warpless record instead of studying for finals. I think it was worth it though. So
That's always nice. Yeah.
yeah, the lovely 1902.0. Love that thing. My brother goes to that college now, and because it's only like 15 minutes away from me, so if I drive by, I'll look in the dorm room. I'll see the window of the dorm room I was in and be like, "That's where I did it." Just funny. Yeah, affording's the only thing. Again, like I'm constantly like throwing away all my money for the events, but in my brain it's worth it just for the experience, but maybe not in the long run. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
hard. That's the only thing that sucks is the money aspect of it, but you do what you can, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um so yeah, live events are fun. You consider a GDQ someday too?
Hmm.
Mhm. That's good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the super easy one. Like the venue and the hotel is the same building every time, so you don't have to.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, they always choose like a giant hotel in a major city, and then like the giant hotels will have like this giant convention center, and they just use it all for GDQ for the whole week. So
That's perfect. And then I'm
yeah,
sure GDQ is like a lot more people going.
yeah,
It's
like
GDQ.
2,000 people, instead of 300. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll
And
be even more.
you can rent consoles. You don't have to
Ooh,
bring your own. You can rent any console you want. It's great. They have like every PlayStation, every Xbox, every Nintendo. It's great. Shoutouts to World 9. but
let's go.
well, yeah, GDQ is really, really good. So, because like the casual viewer is just gonna see like the stream room, like watch the runs, and they're like, "Oh, you just go to like sit in the stream room? That seems kind of boring." If you're going there, you're not there for like more than an hour, usually, unless
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of runs you want to see. Like they have an arcade there, they have like a Smash room, a tournament room, a board game room, there's so much to do. So, yep, GDQ is fun. Hopefully, AGDQ is in person. I have a feeling it won't be, but we'll hope. At least Pace is in November. So,
Yeah.
just gotta find a way to scrape some money, and I'll definitely be going to that. Especially if there's Mario 1 stuff, I have no choice. But,
Me too.
yeah. So, all right. I think we've covered most bases. Guess I'll try to think of just some basic questions to end it off. You have like any games you like watching but don't speedrun or plan to?
SM64 for sure. That's like
Yeah,
the biggest speed game I watch all the time, but I have yet to speedrun.
makes sense. That's like the speedrun. So
Yeah.
the one that pulls in all the viewers at least. So I definitely watch my fair share of the 64.
Yeah.
It helps going to pace and like especially last year I like befriended most of them, so I have a lot more content in the 64 space to watch now. Helps
Mm,
out a lot. I'm sure going to pace this one helped out with that too. So
yeah.
I know of a lot more people that are good at the game. Hell, I'm trying to get better at the game now myself. Though I'm nowhere near the top people. I'll take a sub hour and 70 though. That ain't too bad. I could at least participate in the races and not feel like I sucked at pace. So that was fun. But yeah. Um I if there's any like chat questions, you can ask if you have any, but I think I've covered every base I could think of. Think I missed anything?
mm, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Probably pretty much everything.
Yeah. See, I do my job and I do it well. But yeah, so feel free to self promote if you'd like to.
Um, YouTube is Niftski. Twitch is Niftski. Uh, Twitter's Nevsky, whatever. Everything, all
Whoa.
my social medias are Nevsky.
Wow, is that on the stream right below your face? Wow, look at that. There they are.
All my social medias.
Wow, they'll also be in the YouTube description? Crazy. Anyway,
No way.
no way, bro. Okay. All right. Well,
Um,
yeah, I guess we can wrap it things up then. Doesn't look like there are any questions as of yet. And I can work on getting this thing to YouTube. Pog. As
let's
my
go.
camera like slowly dies on me. I don't know what's up with this thing today. It's supposed to be in 60, it's in like 20 right now. It's weird. Anyway, well, thanks for watching everyone. Episode 22. And I do have a guest for episode 23, so stay tuned for next week. If you're watching on YouTube, watch on Twitch live. Because why not? You can watch live. You could ask questions and stuff. Isn't that great? If you're watching on Twitch, you can watch on YouTube if you miss something. The full VOD's there. Isn't that great too? So great. All
So
right.
great.
It's so great. All right. I'll yeah, rip. Well, that's what I said. Just joined. Watch it on YouTube. It works out. We love the shout out command. Great Twitch feature. A rare Twitch W.
True.
Yep. And I guess that'll be it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for next week and have a good one. Goodbye
Thanks for
now.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Bye, everyone.